The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
Come to the fair, you'll be so glad when you're there. Come on and laugh and let yourself go. There's so much to see and share at Minnesota's one and only great state fair.
They're coming from the cities and they're coming from the farms. They're coming 'cause they wanna be there. It's getting time to gather at the fine get-together, the great Minnesota State Fair.
Come one, come all to the great Minnesota get-together.
1 week until the fair.
Countdown to morning show initiated.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Showtime.
Unbelievable, huh? Is this unbelievable?
I can hardly believe it.
Hello and welcome to the 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Yeah, man, thanks for listening. Day one of the fair. Who's going out today?
No.
Who's heading out to the fair today?
The computer lady said 1 week until the fair.
1 week.
That's unbelievable.
You know what I've noticed this year more than any other? Nobody seems to be freaking out. Usually there's a lot of stress and people are freaking out. We're never going to get ready in time.
Oh, you mean
the stress here in this building.
Here in this building, yeah.
Maybe we just need to spend like a day with our promotions girl, Ryder, and then maybe we'll feel that stress.
She told us she's very calm. She mentioned
she's good this year?
she mentioned how low her blood pressure is right now. It's like remarkably low.
That makes me so happy for her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's more who I like. She's the one, right? The promotions director is usually who sets the tone for how it's going to go. Maybe the marketing director. But yeah, our new promotions director, one of the funniest people in the building, Ryder.
Definitely.
She's totally cool. So that's great. I'm excited because I know for engineers usually are freaking out. Everybody's freaking out.
Right. I've worked at places too where their stress, the stress of the engineers and the promotions people, it kind of like seeps out and impacts everybody else. You know, you feel stressed too because of how stressed and anxious they are. Even like 60 days before the fair, they're freaking out already.
Nick actually enjoys it when they're all freaking out. Yeah. He likes their misery.
You know I love the drama. Absolutely. But yeah, good point, Josh. I haven't seen one promotions department member running, screaming, crying. I haven't seen what we normally would see in the lead up to the fair. And now with a week left to go, yeah, this is normally when things would there'd be a lot of fires to put out.
It feels different because usually there's signs of how close the fair is, and that's something, it's a milestone. We go, oh, everybody's freaking out. We're almost to the fair. Here we go. Nobody's freaking out.
You know, I saw the true face of misery, the true faces of misery. Oh, what was this, 6, 7 years ago, 8 years? I forgot. In that neighborhood, 7, 8 years ago, the state fair temperature averaged around 100 degrees.
That's funny you say that. Somebody just texted in. 1 week until, just in line with the 100-degree temps. It seems like that's the case, right?
It always happens.
It is going to be hotter than hell here for a while leading up to the fair. Hopefully it'll dummy down a little bit. But 6, 7, 8 years ago, I spent a lot of time at the fair. You know, my passion for the fair hasn't diminished. But physically, I just can't walk around the joint day after day like I used to. I mean, Cubby knows this. There were years where I went every day but one. You know, every day. 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was still going to the fair, 7, 8 times in the 12, 14 days. What is it, 12 days?
12 days.
Anyway, but the 7, 8 years ago, that particular fair, whatever it was, 2014, whatever, it was so friggin' hot, and I would swing by our promotions tent and the promotions tent for stupid KQ, and I saw the true faces of misery from the staff. All they wanted just for a meteor to hit them in the head and put them out of their misery. I hope we don't get another one of those.
I believe I remember what year you're talking about, because that would line up when I worked at the state fair at the sanitation department, and I think that was the year that I just remember always taking the shortcut through the kidway, because they have this like sprinkler system set up where it just hits you with mist in the face.
Sure.
And I'd sit there for like 5-10 minutes.
Oh yeah, I've definitely camped out at one of those before.
And you heard that right. Ashley used to work for the sanitation department
Woo.
of the Minnesota State Fair.
You made sure one of those bathrooms was spot clean, didn't you?
Well, the
No,
floor,
she
at
dirtied
least.
it up, dude. She dirtied that up. She tarnished it.
You've told us before that you were either drunk, high, or both every day that you were working for the sanitation department. And what Dana's referencing is you also admitted that you had sex on the floor of one of the state fair bathrooms while working for the sanitation department.
I was off the clock at that time.
Break time.
Yeah.
On the clock, but on the...
Is that is that bathroom still in existence? You know, like give people tours of it or something.
Yes.
You know, Nick's love of the fair, he's expressed it year after year, and like you said, you used to go pretty much every day.
Yeah.
Longtime listeners may remember a former coworker of ours used to give you crap because you didn't go to his wedding, but you did warn him that, hey, if you get married during the fair, I'm not going to go.
Right. Yeah, I never really liked. And so when he told me he was going to get married, right, the first thing I said, if you get married during the state fair, I'm not going to be there.
I remember having to console him. I was like, listen, he told you he's not going to go to your wedding if you have it during the fair.
Yeah, and then I got the invitation, and it said, you are invited to the nuptials of and I filled it out, and I said no, and I don't think that ever forgave me for it.
No, he hasn't. Was that worth it?
Yeah, I think it was. Yes, 100%.
I
It made
really
my
liked
day.
that bit.
All right.
Yeah, that was
Just for
fun.
the record, that wasn't easy to get that beep loaded up and stuff.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Yeah, you've been there. You got to create the thing at the time.
That was terrific, Josh. I had no idea it was coming, so how about a round of applause for my improv skills? Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, a few days ago I snapped and I said, we're no longer saying his name on the radio. I didn't know you were coming at me. That's beautiful.
Beef Cannon Jesus said there's a beeping going on. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
He hasn't been keeping up with the bit, but it's okay, Beef Cannon Jesus.
I mean, I heard someone's name the whole time.
Dude was really upset. He was. When I didn't show for his wedding. But like you explained, I told him, if you have your wedding during the fair, I won't be there. And then I got this, well, there's 12. I said, I don't care. I don't, obviously you're not going to get married on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be on a Friday or Saturday. I don't like to miss Fridays or Saturdays at the fair.
You know that
so
one
I didn't go, and he was legitimately insulted. As a matter of fact, I think it really, what's the word I'm looking for, really affected our relationship for a good stretch of time.
I think it did.
Not that we were ever very tight, but it had a direct effect on our relationship. Yes, Ashley, go ahead.
Remember that one time I got married?
Yeah.
I'm surprised you do with how brief it was.
I made sure that I wanted to actually get married the weekend before the one I actually did. I got married on like the 11th, and I wanted to get married the weekend before, but I specifically did not, because I realized that it was during the state fair, Nick, and I was like, I can't do that.
I remember
can't
you telling
be that person.
me. I remember you telling me, hey, look, I even made adjustments in our date, our big day. How do you say it in the industry, the wedding industry? You made an adjustment to when you were going to get married to accommodate my love of the fair, and that was one of the sweetest things anyone's ever done for me.
Especially because it was the first one that kind of, after COVID and everything, so everyone was super excited.
And I didn't want to miss seeing you get hitched. I mean, Josh,
We thought there'd be some drama.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I remember saying to myself, I mean, how many opportunities will I get to watch Ashley get married? Probably only about 3 or 4. So I don't want to miss a thing. I think was an awful old song that Aerosmith put together. Yeah, that there was a time even back to this dude we used to work with. There was a time even where he wanted to change the name of the show to the Half-Ass Morning Show starring Nick, Josh, and I remember the first time he brought it up, I said, well, who the hell is and he said, me, you prick. And I said, there's no way we're changing the name of the show to Nick, Josh, and we might just call it Nick and Josh, but we're not going to call it Nick, Josh, and no way.
You try it, Dana.
Well, see, I never got to work with.
I saw that coming, dude. I knew you were going to do that.
I know.
I walked right into that.
I was going to do it like 10 minutes ago, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be the one that he doesn't do it
No,
to.
you guys are too clever. Dana, you're too nice of a guy to see that coming.
Oh, yeah.
That was cold-blooded.
That was awesome.
That was a cold-blooded move. A lot of folks don't realize how ice-cold Josh can be.
Only for comedy. Trust me, I'll text him later and go, hey, man, I hope you were cool with that.
He will, too. Josh will seriously send that message.
That was
and yes,
friggin'
I'm cool with it.
Absolutely wonderful.
I did like to remind this gentleman, I don't have the dexterity anymore to hit the button. I did like to remind him that you came to my wedding on a NFL playoff game.
Yeah, well, the NFC and AFC championship game. Just the NFC championship game. Yes.
And it was the Packers versus somebody.
The New York Giants.
Yeah.
We had a great time that night. We did. Because the Packers' loss was part of the fun. Your wedding reception was part of the fun.
It was back when you liked football.
Yeah, I was still sort of on board with football, but the real drive for me, Wapple, to watch that game was to watch Green Bay lose, and I got my wish. It was outstanding. But if you've listened to this show for quite a while, you know where I'm going with this. Not only did we have Josh's wedding reception, we're watching the NFC Championship game while we're at the reception. But when it was all said and done, we spilled over to Rick's Cabaret and spent all night with topless women.
And my wife was pissed. I just left her at the altar.
Yeah.
I had to go.
Yeah. We actually watched the end of the ball game at Rick's Cabaret. Oh, I was there. Doug. Who else was in the building? Donnie.
Yep.
Was there.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, Josh, tell folks about the text message prank you pulled on a listener here a minute ago. This was pretty good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Fun Size Jesus. She had texted in and asked about, we talked, if you missed it, Monday and Tuesday, we were talking about this big boss. One of the biggest bosses at Cumulus was coming to town. And Dana and Ashley seemed the most nervous.
They were. We
were busting their chops on Monday. It was supposed to be Monday. Somebody screwed up the meeting time, so it ended up being yesterday.
Yeah.
And Nick and I knew, because we'd met him before, he's really a genuine nice guy. He's not like your typical corporate guy.
He really is.
He's a nice dude, absolutely gorgeous. And we knew he was a good guy, but we were busting their chops saying, hey, when corporate comes to town, and by the way, there is some truth to this.
Yeah.
Usually this building's a little lighter in personnel. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They fire somebody or take some equipment or something. And so we really hammed that up. So Fun Size Jesus texted in this morning and said, hey, how did it go? Did anyone get taken to Chili's? A reference to getting dumped that Dana gave us.
Did anyone get fired? She texted in, right.
So I sent back a text in all caps that just said, automatic response. We apologize for the inconvenience, but the 93X morning show was terminated yesterday.
No, Josh.
But I did finish it up by writing, you're welcome. It's the station's gift to you. But hey, thank you. That was cool. I got emails and people did text going, okay, did anything bad happen?
Yeah, people were genuinely concerned.
Well, because, it is true. It could be a situation where all of a sudden this morning we're playing country music.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Mm-hmm. Could be a format flip. I remember being surprised when The Edge went off the air. I mean, at the time, our program director, who was a nutcase, said, hey, this is the greatest radio station in the country. We're never going anywhere. And then like a week later, it was gone. I told a guy I would provide him oral sex if the Edge flipped format. Now, that's the only bet I've ever welched on. I mean, someday I'll pay it up.
Yeah.
But that's the only one I've ever welched on.
Yeah, you will. Damn right you will.
But no, it was everybody's here. As far as I know, anybody hear of any?
No.
We didn't get any emails saying.
I stopped by our boss, our direct boss, Derek, who we talk about a lot, who we really like. When I was leaving the studio after the show, after we met with the boss, things went well. I kind of poked my head in there, and I kind of put like a solemn look on my face. I'm like, well, hey, man, I just got the papers. Just want to let you know it's been great working with you, and hope to see you around town. And he didn't look all that surprised. He kind of had a, oh, that makes sense look on his face.
That's humbling, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. He's kind of like, oh, really? Like, oh, you're kidding. Okay. Oh, well.
Yeah, be careful with those little comedy bits.
Especially because, yeah, dude, I heard it was coming. What if they said that?
Well, right.
Yeah. I was told it wasn't going to be till Friday.
You got to be careful with those bits because you might find out more information than you want.
Yeah.
If Derek would have said, oh, I thought that was supposed to happen next week, Oh, Christ.
Thought we were at least going to let you go through the state fair, and then we were going to do it. But, all right. Well, yeah, man, see you around town.
I thought it was funny. Like, so people did dress up a little more than usual. Well, in some cases, a lot more than usual.
The sales staff, that was fun.
It was like a fashion show.
Yeah.
So much perfume, too.
I missed this. When did you see the dressed-up sales staff?
Yesterday and Monday.
Well, they just walk by.
Oh, I didn't notice a thing. Well, they always have nice clothes on.
They dolled it up a little bit more than usual.
I guess I didn't notice.
But, yeah, so I thought it was funny that Derek, who's a fashionable guy, a program director, a direct boss, Derek, he just, on day one where we thought we were having this meeting, he just put like an overcoat, or what would you call it? Suit coat?
Yeah.
Or a blazer, whatever you call it.
Sport coat, something like that, yeah.
Over just a crappy T-shirt. And that was it. It reminded me of when I was a ticket taker at a movie theater, right? I'm just wearing garbage clothes, but I've got that blazer on.
Did they make you wear that cute little blazer?
Yeah, sure did.
Was it red?
No, it was blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any old photos of that?
No, it's not. Obviously, it's so different. I think, like you, I barely have any photos growing up. We didn't have a camera.
No.
So at special occasions, like they'd buy a disposable camera.
I'm in the same situation. I've told you before. If my house burned to the ground, there'd be no evidence that I ever lived.
I'd love to see photos of you guys from when you were younger.
Don't have any.
I have just a couple.
I mean, maybe my folks have. I mean, yeah, our family never utilized cameras for anything. We have very limited proof that we exist.
It was cool going to your 50th because I saw a couple of photos of you in high school and stuff like that. That was cool.
Oh, yeah, my sister found some old stuff. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, that was cool. You used to wear sleeves.
Yeah, for quite a few years, up until about 10
Can't
years.
afford them anymore.
No.
You used to wear my hair.
Yeah, we used to have a similar hairdo, I guess.
Somebody made a comment about the sleeves on Facebook. Our station account posted the videos of Wapple and Nick both throwing the first pitches. And somebody goes, I call BS. That's not Nick. That guy's got sleeves on.
Yeah, they make you put the jersey on. But no, back to the big boss's visit. He really is a terrific guy. And I said this yesterday to him, and I meant it. I said it's good to know we got good people looking out for us.
Yeah, and we do. He's one of the good ones. And I think anybody listening knows we've been pretty honest about the bad ones. So if he was, we'd be honest with you. Yeah, there was a moment yesterday that was pretty funny. And I'm curious because you guys had never met him, right? Meaning Dana, Wapple, and Ashley?
Yeah, never.
Nick had to go back in the studio because his nose was running.
Yeah.
And so, he goes to get some Kleenex. He comes back out, and usually we just kind of we've got this big table outside the studio, and after the show, we sit out there, and we usually sit in the exact same spots. And so this guy, he shows up before Nick came out of the studio, and he sat down in what is usually Nick's spot.
Yeah, that was not cool.
And Nick came
That
out.
threw me off.
Again, one of the biggest bosses in the company, and Nick's like, hey, man, you're in my seat.
Yeah, that was the first thing you said, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. The guy, and he
almost got up.
Yeah,
he
I
almost
offered.
did.
I
He was
said,
like
all right,
grabbing his
fine.
computer.
For one day, you can sit in my chair. No, I was kind of pissed off because he just scooted himself up in my friggin' chair.
Well,
Your
you know what's
stuff was
funny?
right there.
Is
Yeah.
he's like, hey, you guys mind if I sit down? And I almost said, hey, that's Nick's seat, but I thought, nah, I'm not going to say anything to the biggest boss, and that's the first thing you say when you come out.
That's funny, Josh, because I was close to saying that too. I was gonna be like, oh, Nick's sitting there, but I was like, nah, that's fine. He can sit there.
No, I was pissed off, but I made an exception.
Well, you set the tone.
Yeah. And you want to talk about the guy's good. He's good. He's a good people person. He knows the business. He knows how to talk to people. And he truly is one of our favorites. You want to talk about a guy with job security. He ain't going anywhere. As a matter of fact, Josh will provide a guy oral sex if anything ever happens to that guy.
I will.
Yeah.
And that is a promise.
Yeah, that's right.
I will pay up on that.
So it was a good time. Certainly was. Speaking of big shots, Randy Shaver will be ducking in here a little bit later. But we're heading towards the close of the work week, and we are 1 week away from the State Fair. Don't think I'll go on day one. We can talk about this next week, but I used to always go on day one, and I haven't for a few years now just because it destroys me so badly.
We will be there as a show both Fridays. We're hoping to get there about 10 a.m., kind of depending on how quickly we can get out of here.
A morning show.
Yes.
Appearance.
Yes. So that's our plan. Those are the 2 days I'll go.
God dang it, I think I got to go day one.
Has anyone ever gone day one and then also the last day? It's a very funny comparison in like moods and attitudes of people.
It is funny.
Yeah.
But just defeated on the last day.
Yeah, you know, the first day it's all smiles and happiness and joy, and then the last day it's just, you see the guy, it's like, I'm going to smell like French fries for the next 6 months.
You know what? F you, just take this corn on the cob.
Yeah. The folks who work there, you mean, are exhausted.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. But I might have to go on day one because I didn't. Isn't Duran Duran playing on day one?
I can't remember what day.
They might be.
I want to go see Duran Duran.
You can't go out on a Thursday night.
Duran Duran, bro.
Yeah, I know. They're good. Good.
Nope. The Black Keys are the first night. You're safe.
When's Duran Duran?
Checking.
Still scrolling.
Thursday, August 31st. Second
The
Thursday.
following Thursday.
You might as well just sleep over.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough for Nick, though, because the night before he'll be at the Young Gravy show.
Well, and then, the next night
The
after
what?
that is going to be the Jonas Brothers. So he's
Oh,
going to be
dude,
there
you're
again.
so busy.
Hey, I like that Nick Jonas.
The Young Gravy
Young
show?
Gravy.
Young Gravy is the name of a person?
Dude, it's so
But
bad.
then he's with special guest BB No Money.
Hey, I would like to strike the fact that I said I like that Nick Jonas from the record. I felt silly after I said it.
Why?
Yeah.
It just didn't seem like something a 48-year-old man should blurt out.
Probably not.
So,
No.
yeah, for the record, just remove that. I never said. Take that out of the podcast. That made no sense. Why would I say something like that? He was good in Jumanji, but it doesn't matter.
BB No Money.
BB No Money.
Aren't you AW No Money?
Yeah. No, it's A-Dubs No Mun.
A-Dubs. All right, we got to get going again. It's the 93X Half-Fast Morning Show. We appreciate you being there. We'll be right back.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Unbelievable.
What? What are you doing?
Yeah. I was reaching for my headphones.
They're on your head.
No.
Oh.
Before I put them on my head. And I swept my stapler and all kinds of things into the garbage.
Are they covered in chew spit now?
Yeah, because you're always chewing in here and spitting in the garbage.
It's so good. I love it.
Wapple, get over here and wipe the chew spit off my stapler real quick, will
Okay.
you? You're the young guy. You got to do it. I need this stapler.
Whew. That is a lot of shards and saliva right there.
Yeah. Can you believe that? All right.
So do I eat the shards
No,
now?
you
or
don't
what do
eat
I
the
do?
shards. You save the shards.
You're acting like you've never done this before, dude. That's a rookie move.
I went for my headphones. I swept everything into the garbage. Such a stupid idiot. Let's go ahead with the stupid news. I got a warning here for you. Oh, consider yourself warned. Don't mess with furries. If you do, you might end up getting the fat end of a megaphone rung upside your head. Ping. Furries. You know their gimmick, right?
Yep.
Folks who, if you don't know, folks who dig jumping into a mascot-type costume, usually an adorably furry critter, maybe a dog, a cat, a fox, a turtle. Josh likes turtles.
I like turtles.
I'll tell you what, this here video going around, some dude on a beach out there in California, he wouldn't stop pointing his stupid-ass cellular telephone at a herd of furries who were hanging out.
I love that bit. Hey, man, we're not out here looking for attention as he's dressed as a panda. What are you doing?
Dude wouldn't stop pointing his phone at the furries, and one of the furries, I believe his character was that of a pirate wolf, by God. He smacked the cell phone dude right in the effing brain with the noisy end of a megaphone. It was a terrible thing.
Oh, and he hit him hard a couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet that's smart.
He walloped on him.
He got him.
I mean, the dude looked a little dazed on the ground there. He's covered in sand and megaphone.
That video's up on 93x.com.
Check out the video. It was a fur meet, Cubby. That's apparently what they call it when a pile of furries meet up to party.
I'll show you some furry meat.
Bet you would. The furry guy, he got out the megaphone. And he told the cell phone guy, he told the cell phone bro, leave or we will make you leave. I don't know if he said that in a pirate wolf accent, but he said it. The dude wouldn't get out of the furry's face. So he cracked him upside the head. Next thing you know, furry people and non-furry people were all rolling around in the sand. It turned into the world's worst gangbang. Now, I've got some adorable furry inside info here as to why the cell phone dork was creating problems with the normally peaceful furry community. The rumor that I read said that the cell phone dork is a scorned ex-lover of one of the furries. Another rumor was that the cell phone dork used to be a furry who got kicked out of the group.
Oh, some drama.
But those are just rumors that spread there on the beach where, as I said, the world's silliest looking brawl took place. Apparently, after the brawl was over, the guy who took the beating upside the head with the megaphone started screaming, "This is what furries do to you!" That was his take on it. And he also yelled, "I'm going to sue you until you don't have a life." It's very dramatic stuff, Josh.
Yeah, I could picture this winged dog or whatever it is having to go to a consignment shop and sell his prized outfit I got a lawsuit to pay for.
The winged dog.
My youngest asked me about furries just 2 days ago.
Really?
Out of nowhere.
He's on the internet, I bet.
Yeah, I think it's a YouTube deal.
He knows things that he shouldn't know at his age. What did he ask you about specifically? Just what they were all about?
Yeah, he's kind of like, what's going on with that? Is it, he wanted to know, is it like a sex thing? Something like that? I'm like, well, I don't know. Some people say that, but sometimes furries seem to get upset if you mention it's like a fetish. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I have no idea.
I remember when the furries first hit the scene, I don't know, 20 years ago, it seems to me. And that's what everyone instantly talked about is it was some kind of a...
It was a kink.
Sex orgy kink, where you pull your gear out the front of the mascot outfit and suddenly you're a raccoon getting a BJ in a hotel room. Then the story kind of changed. I don't know. I've spent time as a mascot and I always enjoyed it. Maybe one day I will be a furry.
Yeah, I couldn't quite answer the question. It depends on who you ask, but I do know that. I can't remember if we took heat for this or maybe we read something where furries are like, hey, it's not a sex thing.
I don't remember, but that was the theory at first, was it was all sexually charged stuff. Oh, when reading further about this brawl at the beach, bash at the beach between the furries and non-furries, there was a website I ran into that said this beach is notorious for violence. And I read further and they said, yeah, this was the same beach where Johnny Lawrence and Daniel LaRusso had their first confrontation way back in 1984.
Sweet.
And as you know, that rivalry went on for decades. And for the record, I have no idea how that all ended because I gave up on the Cobra Kai documentaries before it all played out. How did it all end?
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet?
No, there's going to be one more season.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch it. It's become too dramatic.
I agree. Yeah,
And some of the characters I used to like are too annoying.
Yep.
I love Johnny Lawrence. That character is so good. William Zabka does a great job.
So funny.
And he's convinced me that the real villain is Danny LaRusso.
100%. I don't like him.
He sucks in the new one. I mean, not as an actor, Danny LaRusso, just as a person.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying.
I just hope that Johnny Lawrence and his sidekick, Skippy, what's the kid's name? The good-looking kid who, and Johnny's banging his mom.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm blanking too.
I just hope they go to another Twisted Sister concert together. That was a great...
That was pretty funny. Man, Johnny Lawrence is funny on that.
He's great.
The first few seasons, so good.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I just kind of pooped out on what I thought was the final, but you're telling me that there's still going to be a final.
Yeah, I think later this year.
This year, I think, yeah. And they kept just bringing back any character that was ever in the first three movies, even for like a scene.
Well, that's cool. I like that.
Well, no, yeah, but he's got a point like, I don't even remember that person was in the movies.
Well,
like
see, you need to be more of a Karate Kid aficionado.
I guess, yeah.
And I don't get why they're all so angry. Mm-hmm. Why are these young people so mad?
It's karate, dude. It pisses you off.
And some of the stuff they get away with makes no sense.
They should be in juvie.
Oh, hell yeah. When I grew up, the kids at my school who were involved in karate, they were always pissed off. They were. They were just waiting for someone to do something so they could go, Kia! and get into their fighting stance.
Oh, my word.
That's the greatest friggin' move in Olympic history. Dude's head came clean off his shoulders. You look it up. All right. This year, next story happened right here in the state of Minnesota. Oh, no, sorry, it didn't. I was close, though. Peru.
Yeah, it's different.
The story happened in Peru. I couldn't tell you a damn thing about Peru.
Isn't that where Paddington Bear is from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, who the hell is...
He loves marmalade sandwiches.
He sure does.
They got something going on over there, by God. An indigenous tribe in Peru believes they are being attacked by aliens. Now, since mid-July, members of this tribe, the Iquido tribe, They've been going on and on about how 7-foot-tall aliens are terrorizing their neighborhood. They say the aliens are, quote, predator-like. They float through the sky. They're armored and bulletproof. A tribe leader went ahead and said to somebody who was listening, these are aliens. They seem armored like the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Oh, no.
I shot one twice, and it didn't fall. Instead, it elevated and disappeared. Another dude who lives in town said, their faces are hidden and their bodies are floating. They use their arms for balance when flying, but then they walk normally. They fly by, activating something on the bottom of their feet. They have wheels with lights.
That's a hoverboard.
Word is a 15-year-old girl got her ass kicked by one of the aliens. She had to be taken off to the hospital. The villagers have pleaded for local and regional authorities to provide them with military protection. So this story picked up a lot of steam on stupid, unnecessary social media, and everyone's arguing as to how legit these alien claims are. So now here come the Peruvian authorities. Whoever they are. They have a theory as to what's really going on. And it's damn near as ridiculous as the idea of aliens floating into town beating up 15-year-old girls. Are you ready for this? Local authorities say they're not aliens. What they are is illegal gold mining gangs using jetpacks.
Dude, that's sweet.
How do I join?
That is so cool.
2 questions. Where's Peru? Second,
Right.
How do I get in on this?
Illegal what? Using what? They say illegal gold mining gangs using jetpacks.
They stole my gold on a jetpack.
What did you just say?
They stole my gold on a jetpack.
Is that your imitation of a Peruvian citizen?
A Peruvian old gold miner.
I can picture it.
Yeah.
They say they are gold mining gangs who use state-of-the-art technology like thrusters that allow people to fly.
Would you guys try one out?
Definitely.
Oh, yeah. What,
hands down.
Me too.
I was going to ask you, Josh, what do they want in trade for a jetpack?
I'd bet we couldn't afford it. You said yes, Wapple?
Yeah, I think I'd love to try that, even though I'm afraid of heights.
How high would you go? Just a few feet, or would you go for it?
Just a few feet, probably.
Wapple, you and I are going to get jetpacks. I'm also afraid of heights. I imagine the fun will squash our fear instantly.
Maybe
you and I we'll be hovering around. We'll be hovering around the top of the IDS taking a piss on Minneapolis. The fun will squash our fear. Someone look up what they want in trade for a jetpack.
So try one of those water ones.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
Can you
those
rent
are
those
fun.
here?
I think you can.
That would be sweet. Those do look cool.
I'm going to see if you can rent one.
There's
a place called Jetpack Midwest.
Okay.
That might be our
Let's see
ticket.
I want to buy one.
Does it say the price on this?
So let me wrap up this ridiculous-ass story. The local authorities say that illegal mining cartels are putting on these jetpacks so they can fly deeper into the forest while they search for gold. No specific individuals or organizations have been named directly. No arrests have been made in relation to these supposed attacks. Maybe I'll jetpack all the way to Wisco for that casino party we're doing in a couple of months.
That'd be fun.
If the price isn't too ridiculous.
I'm seeing you're looking about spending 10 grand on something like this.
Jetpack Midwest looks like it's permanently closed.
Oh.
Shoot.
10
Explore
grand.
Minnesota and TripAdvisor both have it. It was in Lindstrom.
It was because it was too cool?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I'm sorry. We got to shut you down. You're too awesome.
I thought you were going to say a hell of a lot more than 10 grand ski.
That's to buy one?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now on jetpackamerica.com.
Well, for Pete's sake, I don't see why we don't run out and...
There's also this it's a boat probably bigger than a jet ski or a Sea-Doo that you sit in, and it's shaped like a dolphin, and it can jump out of the water.
I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I want a jetpack from town to town.
Look at these jet bikes.
I was just going to say,
the jet bikes look sweet.
An electric wakeboard, that looks sweet too. Because then you can just cruise around the lake and you don't have to have a boat.
Oh, dude, that would be sweet.
I want a jetpack and land in the middle of a ring during a heavyweight championship fight.
Oh, that wouldn't go well. That would not go well. Yesterday, I'll tell you what really perked up my day is I saw a guy, he was a middle-aged man, I'm going to guess maybe mid-50s, and he was trying to cross the street, and there's a car about to make a left. So he's waving at the guy. Go ahead. You go, and then I'll go. And he was waving so furiously. He seemed upset or like on something. I don't know. But he knocked his hat right off his head. And I thought, that's good comedy. You don't see that too much.
Yeah.
Knocked his hat off his head?
His own head. And this thing went flying. So he went and grabbed it. And I thought, how lucky am I to see something like that? They can't get better. And then he gets on his motorized skateboard. Again, a guy probably mid to late 50s.
Okay.
And starts to ride it and nearly fell off. I have no idea how he stayed up, and I kept thinking, okay, hurry up, fall. And unfortunately, he didn't. But it was enough comedy just seeing him scramble to stay on that thing.
It's fun to watch people eat turds when they're riding something.
Yeah, as long as they're safe, of course.
Yeah, whatever. Now, when you were a little kid, Josh, we'll start with you. Did you ever run away?
No. Threatened to. Parents didn't seem to care.
Anybody ever run away?
Tried to. I just sat at the park for a couple hours.
Got bored.
Called it a day.
You know what I did, Nick? This is a true story. I had threatened to, and I went as far as, back in the day in the cartoons and movies, the wanderers of the earth would have a stick with a bandana at the end of it, tied at the end with all their possessions.
Sure.
And I put one of those together and told my parents, look, I'm out of here if things don't change.
What would you have put in that thing at the time?
There were snacks.
Snacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just put some snacks in there, and I was ready to go.
Let's go live off the land?
And my dad's like, all right, dude, go for it.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
I walked out the front door and just kind of waited, thinking, well, any second now they're going to come out crying and beg me to stay home. Nobody came out.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Running away from home.
They called your bluff big time.
Oh, yeah.
This guy, he's a city kid. He's not going to make it in the wild.
You know, a friend of mine's grandpa, who I knew up until he died when I was maybe 20, 21, 22, somewhere. So it's been a long time since this guy checked out. A friend of mine's grandpa legitimately left home when he was about 13 and rode the rails. He was a real-life hobo. He had that stick. He had that bandana with all of his possessions, and he rode the rails until he joined the service.
Did he?
He's got some friggin' stories.
I'll bet. So, I mean, does he run it? Was it common? Did he run into other folks doing it?
None that were
Seems like
his.
in the movies they do.
Yes, there was a community that just kind of rode the none that were his age. He was, 13 years old.
That's dangerous.
So long, suckers. I wish he was still alive so we could tell you.
Yeah, my dad moved out when he was 13.
Where the hell did he go?
Can't even imagine. He went to the seminary.
Oh, my God. Literally.
Yeah.
What about this? Okay, so a couple of us faked like we were going to run away from home. I remember, did you ask to be reappointed to a new family because you hated your own so much?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. I remember having a massive meltdown when I was a kid, screaming to the whole house how much I hated them and wished they would die.
I was such a spoiled little brat. Yeah, I used to be like that too.
And there's an interesting twist. So I mean, there are plenty of times when you were a little kid, I hate you, that whole, right? But there was one day when I just had enough of everybody. And I remember I went down into the basement. Somehow I had been wronged. I went down into the basement and I came uncorked. I hope all of you die. I'm like 9 years old. You can die, and you and you and you. And I'm screaming F words, everything I could come up with. And then I hear a voice go, hello? The neighbor girl that was friends with my sister had come into little did I know, my family had left the house, right? I'm in the basement screaming F-bombs and how I'd like to kill each and every one of them. The neighbor girl had entered that, which was totally normal back there just to walk in and, is anyone home? The neighbor girl had entered the house, heard every word I said. She had no idea why I'm down there screaming hysterically. Is your sister here? And I had to say, oh, I had to gather myself. No, she got on her bicycle. She went to the store.
Oh, man. By the way, you may have heard some things.
Yeah, this neighbor girl must have thought, oh, my God. This kid
guy's
is
dangerous.
I think I should have ran out of the house and pretended I didn't hear anything.
Same here, yeah.
Here's the deal. After arguing with his mother about doing his homework, a 10-year-old boy in China ran away from home. He went smooth to the local police station to complain about his mother, and he begged the cops to put him into an orphanage.
Anything's better.
That is hilarious. Security camera style footage from the police station showed the kid storming into the cop shop. 2 policemen walk up to him, and the kid tells the boys, hey, look, I just got chewed out by my mother for not doing my homework. I left, and I'm ready to move on and join an orphanage.
I'm done with her.
Apparently, the kid said about his mother, she nags at me to study every day. I'd rather go to an orphanage. He's friggin' 10. This kid was tough. From what I understand, the cop said, well, look, let's call your folks. And the kid more or less said, no, you're not calling anybody. There's no reason to involve those people. They're not part of my life anymore. F them.
Wow.
He eventually buckled and gave the cops his folks' phone number. After calming the kid down, the police called his effing old man to come pick him up, and by damn, the kid didn't want to get in the car with his dad. The cops talked the kid into it. They went ahead and told him that, he was making the right choice. Go back to your folks' place. Going back there is way better than going to an orphanage. So the kid got in the car with his dad, and they both went back home to his loser mom. She's a loser.
She wanted him to do his homework?
Yeah.
She sucks. So I think our text system here is very, very slow.
Yeah, she's locked up.
So we're getting text back to our first story about the gentleman dressed as a furry who was upset with another person who was filming him, so he beat the hell out of him with a what do they call it? Megaphone.
Megaphone.
And we were saying about furries, at first, we had always heard it was like a fetish thing. It was these big sex orgies. People would dress up as animals and be animals themselves, making love to each other. Minnesota furry artist Jesus said, being a furry is not strictly a fetish. It is for some, but not for everyone. It's just more fun for the majority of us.
I'd like to try it.
What would you be?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Like a sex panther?
Ooh, wow. It's a pretty good idea.
Ashley, in 15 years, you could be a cougar.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Trying to think of, a woodland critter that I really do like. I like a lot of them. I'd have to think about that. What would I want to be if I joined the furry motorcycle club or whatever they do?
That'd be so scary.
Dude, a furry motorcycle club?
Yeah.
That's what we need to start.
Like when Crunch used to roll into the court on a motorcycle, that was so cool.
Now, you know that I have a lifelong rivalry with otters, Josh.
Yeah, you don't like otters.
So maybe I'll be a giant otter, and then I can lure the real otters in and choke them to death. You're dead now. I got you. I got a rivalry with otters.
See, I was even thinking a turtle for you too, Nick.
I like turtles.
Well, Josh likes turtles.
I do.
Is that where you're going with that?
No, well, wasn't there
I can get a job at the casino when we go out there in a month or two?
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I thought there was something with turtles that you had a rivalry with them.
Oh.
Because they're like prehistoric.
You're thinking snapping turtles.
Yeah.
Snapping turtles. Yes, I also...
I don't like snapping turtles.
I hate snapping turtles. You're talking about the one that was set up to bite my Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah. I had problems
there we go.
at my dad's fishing shack. Forgive me, otter lovers, how I just fantasized there about choking some of them to death. Forgive me. But at my dad's old fishing shack, I had constant trouble with the snapping turtles and the otters, and I'm still hanging on to some of that hate.
Yeah, they're scary looking, man.
Snapping turtles?
Yeah.
They're prehistoric bastards. bastards is what they are. And all they want to do is inflict pain upon us. That's the way I see it. But they're delicious. I did eat one once.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I mean, I didn't cook it. I don't know how to cook, but a dude up north cooked us some snapping turtle one.
Is it like the joke? It tastes like chicken, or?
So long ago, Josh, I was like a 14-year-old kid when we ate up snapping turtles.
I think you make it like a stew, don't you?
I have no. Or what's your name again?
That's Wapple over there.
Yeah, I think it was some kind of a soup or a stew. Yes, that does bring back. Remember, speaking of critters, there's a little town in Florida that's being terrorized by peacocks. They can't take it no more. Everywhere you go, by God cocks. In this town. The town is called Pinecrest. There's an overpopulation of peacocks in the area. Folks in the neighborhood say, yeah, they're pretty to look at. Yeah, we know that. They're pretty. We get it. They're pretty.
Are they insanely aggressive?
Well, here's what they're saying, Smashly. They say when you have a pack of 20 of them squawking at 3 o'clock in the morning, it gets a little annoying. They say when the peacocks see their reflection in cars, windows, and in house windows, they attack their reflection.
Yeah, they're super territorial. I remember because my ex wanted a peacock. I don't know, wanted it as a pet to like guard the house.
Guard the house?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that kind of what led you to thinking, maybe I married the wrong guy?
That was the start.
Forget about a dog. Forget about a...
Yeah, if there was like 3 homes in a row, 2 with Rottweilers and 1 with a peacock, I'm robbing the peacock house.
Yeah.
It's a sign at the end of the driveway, beware peacock.
I don't know, man. I'd turn around.
There's some verbiage in here about the aggressiveness of these peacocks, but first and foremost, they say when they see their reflection, they attack it. So they're pecking at the car windows. They're pecking at the windows of people's houses. Then they say they get on the roof. I don't know if they mean the roof of a car or the roof of a house or the roof of your mouth. Can you imagine a peacock slamming into the roof of your mouth?
Oh.
The locals have said that we are now currently pert near peacock mating season, and that's where they get real aggressive and protective of their nests. They pick up small children by the back of their pants and throw them across the lawn. But the neighborhood has a plan. They don't want to go to war with the peacocks. Hell no. But they have a plan. The plan is mass peacock vasectomies.
Oh, that's humbling. Can you imagine? You're on the battlefield in the middle of another world war, and they're not going to kill you. They're going to capture you and take your testicles. Just kill me, man.
To try and dummy down the overwhelming number of peacocks, they're going to round them up. They're going to call a veterinarian, and the veterinarian heats up a broken-off car antenna or whatever. I don't know how. And then, as Josh would say, they will begin the reckoning.
Man. How much is that going to cost?
A good question. Don't know what it costs to...
You really, honestly, I'm not trying to pick on you, but you don't know what it costs to give a peacock a vasectomy?
I don't.
Jeez. Wow, man.
You know, I thought we made a promise years ago that we wouldn't embarrass each other on the air.
I didn't mean to. I was so shocked.
Now I feel like a friggin' idiot.
Because
I do not know the cost to vasectomize a peacock. I don't. But they're nice people in the neighborhood, Josh. They want to coexist with the cocks. They don't want to hurt the little bastards.
I mean, there's some advantages, right? To having some cocks in the neighborhood, I would think.
They just want to take the bullets out the guns, so to speak. Declare a ceasefire, you might say.
Now, I'm just a city kid who grew up in Minneapolis. Do we have wild peacocks in the state of Minnesota?
Yeah.
We do? Honestly?
Yeah.
Really?
What?
Yeah.
I've never seen one in my entire life.
Can you hunt them?
Are you sure you're not looking at a pheasant, Dana?
No, it was a peacock. In my grandparents' backyard in Roseville.
Well, it must have been a pet then.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
There's wild peacocks in Minnesota?
What? Just in Roseville?
What are you talking about? There's no way. That must have been a house pet that got loose.
It looks like it doesn't look like, because obviously they don't originate here.
Was it a house pet, Dana?
I don't know. It was just strolling through the backyard and it flapped its
So we don't know if
things
there's wild ones.
Let me see, yeah.
Maybe it was a turkey, dude.
I think it was probably
Just a pretty turkey.
Could have been a pretty turkey.
You know what I
Yeah,
kind of...
Well, we
do
have a
not.
lot of turkeys by us, I can tell you that much.
There's a Fox 9 story from May of 20 of this year. Peacock spotted in Eden Prairie.
Okay,
Well, it
yeah,
doesn't mean
but
it's a wild
Yeah,
peacock.
they're not- they're
I'm
not
saying I
wild.
saw a peacock. I don't know if it was wild or somebody's pet. I didn't ask it questions. We were just amazed as it kind of just wandered through the backyard
Didn't
and went
ask
to the
it
next
questions.
yard.
No, wait a minute. I'm not trying to be a dick again. You were face to face with a peacock and you didn't ask this peacock any questions? Wow, man.
Boy, you're surrounded by morons.
I really am.
Yeah.
I work with some dumb people. I'm going to write this down so I can talk to my wife about it tonight. You wouldn't believe what happened at work.
I'm going with there's absolutely no way there are wild peacocks in Minnesota. You
There's
saw
not.
somebody's house pet that busted loose.
They're in a whole different hemisphere.
You know what I'm thinking
Different
of?
hemisphere, even.
There's a lot of birds that are dicks. Birds are just dicks.
Dude, I agree.
Geese especially.
Well, there's peacocks, there's geese, there's ostrich apparently are dicks. There's turkey, and then
turkeys are jerks.
And then flamingos, I heard were jerks too.
I had a problem with a crow in my backyard.
Crows too? There
Remember,
we go.
I tell you about the crow. I put the mirrors up. He never came back.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story.
He never came back. They don't like their own reflection. He flew away from it and never came back.
Well, you're onto something. Just a couple weeks ago, I was telling you I was attacked by a, I just forgot the name of it. Robin.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Totally.
And it was going after my dog. I got a 185-pound dog. It didn't care. Didn't care.
I'm going on record right now. Wapple said birds are dicks.
Yeah, birds suck.
You're not going to get arguments.
You got to finish it by saying Wapple said.
Wapple said.
Yeah. Everybody, I think most of us would agree with that. Oh. Do I got time for one more, Josh?
I think so. Why not?
Some ass bag broke into a church and tried to eat up all they chicken nuggets. Do you guys know they had chicken nuggets at church?
I did not know that. Maybe I would have gone.
The nuggets of Christ. Amen. The nuggets of Christ. Amen. The nuggets of Christ.
Amen.
Amen. Let us microwave the nuggets of the Lord.
Nuggets of Lord.
What are you guys singing?
The rest of it.
Oh, there's more to that?
Yeah, you go.
And then the priest does it again.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then we respond again. The nuggets of Lord.
Let us proclaim we have 3 dipping sauces.
Dipping sauce.
I want to go to church now with you guys.
Honey, mustard, and some ranch barbecue
sauce.
We go to church more than you guys.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I have trouble with what's going on there. I've been there a lot lately with people dying, and I just kind of wait for everyone else to make a move. I don't know what I'm doing. This deal was over there in, how do you say it, Utah. Last Saturday afternoon, a man is suspected of breaking into a church and cooking chicken nuggets that did not belong to him. They belonged to the church.
Churches oftentimes have really good food. I mean, you like lasagna? Who doesn't like lasagna?
Yeah.
A lot of lasagnas at some of those church dinners.
Booyahs?
Pardon me?
I don't know what a
Booyah.
booyah is.
Oh, it's like
That's usually what I say when I do a cool trick on a snowboard.
Oh, true that.
I've never had a good meal at it. I mean, whatever. You have the sandwiches after somebody dies.
You never had like the spaghetti or anything like that?
Ooh, the spaghetti's good.
I've been at joints where people brought good food in, but no, I've never been to a church dinner where
Never a pancake breakfast?
Maybe when
those are good.
Maybe when I was a kid. I don't go to those places anymore.
I had one time after a funeral, they had a whole Thanksgiving dinner. It was a very sad day, but I was pretty pumped about that.
Yeah, you can't. That's tough. You don't want to have too big of a smile on your face.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh my gosh, they're stunning.
Yeah, this friggin' guy, there he goes into the church. He's 49 years old. He's cooking up their nuggets. Folks saw him wandering through the neighborhood earlier looking into cars and backyards, so that's a little shady. And when they walked in, they saw him tossing a bag of frozen chicken nuggets back inside the fridge, and he took a plate of nuggets out the microwave.
All that
That's
scoping
great.
out makes you hungry, I guess.
He admitted to the cops, and on the way to the police station, he admitted everything to the cops, I should say. And on the way to the police station, he asked the cops if they thought KFC was still open. I'm not a religious person. I'm not involved in that scene, so I don't know what you guys are talking about with these church dinners and what. But after reading this story, I bet you fast food joints teaming up with churches would be a hell of a combination. Would likely boost church attendance. You're picturing what I'm talking about?
Oh,
you get your church.
Let's open one. We could call it Church's Chicken.
Yeah, nice.
Good idea.
Do they already? Am I missing something?
Oh no, there is a Church's Chicken. Shoot,
but it's not connected to a church.
I have no idea. I highly doubt it.
Oh,
Do you
well,
think
anyway.
they take off Sundays like Chick-fil-A too?
Yeah, I mean,
Good question.
yeah, I'm not sure.
I would be excited to go to a church if it was in the same building as a Burger King or something like that.
What about the donuts? Did your church have donuts afterwards?
I don't think I have no way to contribute to that conversation. I'm sure I had a bite to eat or two when I was a kid and I was forced to go to church.
Well, when
But
you go
I
like
don't
twice a week, you pick up on the days
I'm
to go.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure
yeah.
you do. I mean, I haven't been a regular churchgoer since I was 9 or something. But like I said, I end up there because of people checking out. And usually the food that we eat afterwards is something that somebody brought themselves. So
Yeah, some of those potlucks are good.
Yeah,
a lot of hot dishes.
Oh, those are the best. But you're onto something, Nick. I probably would go to church if I was promised like an egg McMuffin when I walked in the door.
Yeah, I mean, I just love fast food.
Heck yeah.
A lot of the churches nowadays have like Starbucks and stuff.
Dude, are you serious?
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
like
some of
those
those
new
big,
ones.
Yeah, I don't want to say the name of it, but the big ones around town.
Now, my old man, I think they're going to throw him out. They're going to arrest him at one point or another. He's not much of a religious guy, but he lives right by a Lutheran church, and sometimes he'll go in there and just walk in and eat up all their scalloped potatoes and whatnot, just because he knows there's free food sitting around.
All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and
I love church food.
And they say, Lutheran this and Lutheran that. My dad's like, I'm just here for the ham and the scalloped potatoes. I live 2 doors down, so.
Boy, Wapple, you're not kidding. Arrow Window Jesus is amongst a few people who've texted in and said they've got caribous in some of these.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed the church food. Maybe you can show me sometime.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, golly. Oh, my. Vasquez nearly got hit in the face with that pitch.
Top of the helmet right there. Oh,
Right on the brim of the helmet.
Better go buy a Powerball ticket.
Gets Newt Bar.
That does not look like it's just a run-of-the-mill, off-the-shin kind of feeling. I mean, he is in some serious pain. Oh.
Think we know why?
Man, baseball's been a hell of a lot of fun the last couple nights.
People are getting hurt left and right.
Balls Mahoney. Christian Vasquez is one lucky bastard, huh? Foul ball. He's standing in the on-deck circle. Foul ball comes off the bat at Donnie F. and Barrels over there. And the baseball's cruising, 90 miles. Hits the brim of his batting helmet.
Unbelievable.
An inch lower, it would have absolutely obliterated his nose.
It would have went right through his head.
Oh, my God, that's fun. And then another player grounded a baseball into his own penis. Lars F. Me running Newt Bar of the St. Louis Cardinals. Little foul at the plate. Ball bounces up, hits him in the Johnson. It's up on our website.
Yep, both of them.
This has been fun. But I got to get the hell out of the way. We're running late. I just want to tell you 2 quick things. We'll talk more about these penises and whatnot. These lucky or unlucky penises. We can cover this when Randy Shaver joins us in a half hour. We were talking about going to church, and you guys like the food at church. I don't think I've ever experienced much for church food. We were talking about how somebody checks out. You stand in the church, you say goodbye to that somebody, and then they feed you, right? You follow that gimmick?
Yeah.
I never heard this term before. I learned a new term. Someone calls that a dead spread.
Yeah, that's news to me too.
That's gold.
And thanks to IMS Jesus, I now know what we were talking about furries too earlier. Josh asked me if I was a furry, what would I be? IMS Jesus made the call, and I'm going along with it. If I'm ever a furry, I'm going to be a man-bear-pig.
Oh, that's genius. A little work on your part to make that some stitching together, but I think you could pull that off.
Absolutely.
It's bigger when it's warm out, Jesus. Text in on the topic of running away when you were a little kid,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
You're really you're playing chicken with your parents. He said he faked running away from home as well, but as soon as he stepped outside, he turned around and there was a sign in his bedroom window that said room for rent. I bet they had some laughs in that house.
Oh, that's good.
In the ball game yesterday where Christian Vasquez almost got killed in the ball game, boy, they got the dongs out at Target Field yesterday. Unfortunately, the Tigers doubled up the Twins in that category. Tigers hit 4 bombs and won 8-7 to wrap up their cute little 2-game series. The boys got today off. Tomorrow night they start a series with the Pittsburgh Pirates. We'll get into all this again when Shaver shows up. Till then, stick around for Josh's news report.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
Hey Minnesota, CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
24/7, he's nude in his unit, but for 10 to 15 minutes a day, he will go near the windows and he will expose himself and touch himself.
That is definitely going to be a Shaver intro at some point. Female residents of a downtown Chicago high-rise say they've seen enough of a male neighbor, thought to be approximately 70 years old, who allegedly exposes himself on a regular basis in front of his floor-to-ceiling windows. And he also jacks it a little bit.
A public place under the law doesn't have to be outside. It can be in your home if you're someplace that you can reasonably be expected to be seen by others.
The women who claimed the harassing behavior has gone on for years filed police reports that say the man has waved and even once held up a sign saying, "Come over."
From the time I reported it to my building, I began keeping a log, and there'd be times that he would make eye contact with me or hold up a sign of some kind, and then he would walk with me. Like if I would go into my bedroom, he would go into his other room so he could follow.
What a creep. 6 months ago, one of the women confronted the man in the lobby of his building. A cell phone video showed her telling him, "Not okay, it's enough." He responded, "I understand," but he continued to expose himself. The local media caught up with the man outside his building and told them he would lower his blinds and stop exposing himself to the women. Since then, however, his blinds remain open. They say they continue to see him naked, but at least for now, he's no longer directly engaging with them.
Yeah, we got to get this guy to cut it out.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a little much.
All right.
By the way, the headline from this story was "Naked Neighbor Exposes Cracks in Indecency Laws." A serial creep from Los Angeles County is back on the streets after more than 40 arrests stretching back to 2005. 36-year-old Khalees Crowder was identified as a man seen on a viral TikTok video following women around a Burbank Barnes & Noble bookseller, sniffing their butts. "What are you doing?" one of the women asked after Crowder crouched down behind her and leaned in for a sniff. "Tying my shoe," he replied, huffing, short of breath. "What are you doing?" She reported him to the front desk and shared the video online where millions of people saw it, some of whom say they recognized him. After the butt-sniffing video was posted, at least 20 other women reached out and said that he sniffed their butts. According to Candace Ori, the wife of former Los Angeles Lakers star Robert Ori, Crowder stalked their daughter a decade ago. Crowder previously served in state prisons for burglary and robbery charges and had been sentenced in February for indecent exposure in Santa Clarita. Glendale police arrested him for allegedly peeping on a Glendale home last week. But at least for now, he's back on the streets.
Sounds like a very dangerous man.
He's a butt sniffer, Ashley.
Sniffing butts at the bookstore.
Tell you
Can't
what.
do that.
You're just reading some nonfiction. Next thing you know, you just hear.
You don't hear about old school butt sniffers.
It's kind of a lost art, isn't it?
It's rare. It's rare.
That's pretty sick.
You don't spot them in the wild much, do you?
No.
A San Diego State University student captured the moment an apparent peeping Tom looked into her bedroom as she watched terrified on her door cam.
There I saw him creeping, looking into my window, his hands cupped over his eyes. I was scared.
The woman said she was sitting on her bed about 10 p.m. last Thursday when her Ring camera sent live video to her phone showing the stranger climbing into her yard.
Here is him going over our front gate. And looking like he knows exactly where he's going, right to the side of the house, and peering into my bedroom window.
She said she crawled into a room with no windows and called 911. The video later showed 2 police officers searching the area with flashlights, but the intruder had already escaped. Police continue to investigate that incident.
Man, we got to get out the neutering rod or something for some of these guys. What do they use? A neutering bat or something?
You could probably tase the nuts off.
Neutering tase?
A suspected carjacker saw a situation go from bad to worse Monday when he tried hiding in a Florida woman's apartment and discovered she had very protective dogs.
Oh, no.
The episodic pursuit began 3 hours earlier when the 42-year-old suspect pulled a gun on a man pumping gas and demanded his car and money. The stolen vehicle was then abandoned at an apartment building where the suspect became the unwelcome guest of a woman and her 2 dogs. The 57-year-old woman partially opened her door after hearing someone banging on it while screaming, "Mama!" The suspect forced his way through the door, knocking her backwards, slamming it shut, the sheriff's office said. When she realized the man was a stranger, the victim commanded her 2 dogs to attack him, and oh boy, they did. As Daytona Beach police officers arrived at the door of the second-floor apartment, the man ran into the kitchen and broke through a window before jumping out of it.
Just dogs right on his ass?
Yeah. SWAT team arrested the man at a nearby warehouse. They took him to the hospital to be treated for the dog bites and some injuries from the broken glass.
What were they? Were the type of dog? Pugs?
They didn't say.
Chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas, yeah, I heard they can be.
Oh,
They are
snippy.
crazy.
They'll tear a toenail off.
I don't think they're afraid of anything.
They don't play.
They'll tear a toenail off and swallow it right with looking at you.
A Utah man shot his teenage girlfriend in the leg in a fit of rage after she went to a party without him and it hurt his feelings.
I'll be damned.
The 18-year-old man was charged Tuesday after being accused of shooting his 17-year-old girlfriend in the leg August 6th after learning she, quote, ignored his feelings by making plans that didn't include him. He reportedly followed her to the party and demanded she come home. Later that night, he allegedly knelt down next to his girlfriend while she was sitting in the back seat of her friend's car and then shot her in the leg, apparently out of nowhere. A friend rushed the girlfriend to the hospital where she underwent surgery for a broken femur. He was taken into custody on suspicion of felony discharge of a firearm, but wasn't arrested for another week.
I don't think this guy's ready for relationships yet.
I agree. I don't think he gets how it works. You didn't include me in your plan.
Are you the most sensitive person on planet Earth?
A Stranger Things-obsessed woman fell victim to a catfishing scam where she began an online relationship, divorced her husband, and sent thousands of dollars worth of gift cards to someone portraying an actor from the hit Netflix series.
Wow.
Michaela is her name, a single mother from Kentucky. She received a message from a user named DKMH saying he would like to chat, and eventually claimed they were the well-known actor Dacre Montgomery, who played Billy Hargrove on Stranger Things. Although they never met in person, Michaela says Montgomery was always complaining to her about his relationship issues. Some of those issues were how his girlfriend controlled all his bank accounts and how he was having some money problems. After a year of private messaging, Montgomery, quote-unquote, had asked Michaela to be his girlfriend, though the had still never met.
It's a big moment.
At one point, the scammer gave Michaela an ultimatum. Choose between me or your husband.
After we had been together for a little while, he gave me an ultimatum. He said, listen, he said, it's either your husband, he said, or it's me. I told my ex-husband, I said, listen, I said, it's not working out. I think you need to leave.
With her husband out of the picture and Michaela living with her 7-year-old daughter, Montgomery popped the ultimate question. Will you send me money? And she did. A lot of it. To the tune of about $10,000.
So he makes around $150,000 per episode of Stranger Things. And they do about 8 episodes every season. When you do the math on that, he's not hurting for money.
Apparently she didn't pick up on that. The investigators are looking into Michaela's story and found Montgomery is actually a romance scammer. She said she doesn't want to see other people become a victim of a scam like she did.
Isn't that something? How that stuff still keeps happening from town to town?
Yeah. You hear about it all the time.
Oh, wow. I just want the ladies out there with money to know that we really don't act that way on the set of Stranger Things. And you can find me on Facebook. We can talk about it. But we never really acted like that on the set of Stranger Things or on the set of Game of Thrones. So,
yeah, I mean,
if you have money, I'll tell you all about it.
A lot of the bigger series that you've been on,
Yeah.
you said nobody's really acted like that.
All very professional.
Yeah, trust me. I have been talking to my girlfriend, Nicole Kidman, about this for a very, very long time. It's weird. Did you guys know how expensive it is for her to call me from a movie shoot?
How much,
What kind of
Josh?
money are you having to send to Nicole Kidman?
$1,500 a month.
I'll be.
That's on the cheaper end, actually. You're doing pretty good.
What are you paying to talk to Ashton Kutcher?
They had $2,500.
A correctional officer in Alabama was arrested Saturday after he was caught stealing Pokemon cards while in uniform. Oh, I bet that's embarrassing. After completing his shift Saturday night, Officer Josh Hardy left the Calhoun County Jail and proceeded to Walmart. While there, Walmart's Loss Prevention Division witnessed Hardy remove several Pokemon cards from their packets, placing them inside his pockets. Walmart employees confronted Hardy as he attempted to leave without paying, after which he fled the store on foot. Police located him at a nearby restaurant where he was arrested. It's with great embarrassment that we have to report this incident, and Hardy has been terminated from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, said Sheriff Matthew Wade. Wade went on to say that Hardy tarnished their agency and the image of all law enforcement.
Jesus, what a disaster. What the hell's the matter with you?
You're in uniform and you got caught stealing Pokemon cards? No offense to Pokemon cards, but man.
It's embarrassing.
And Edina man and his brother were charged with roaming Twin Cities area casinos and playing slots for gamblers who paid to have their bets placed, then watch live on TikTok in hopes of striking it rich. The 40-year-old is alleged to have run a remote bookie business for at least 4 months until January, when at Mystic Lake Casino or Treasure Island Resort and Casino, they were in violation of a law which prohibits placing bets on behalf of someone else. Archived videos on the man's main TikTok account reveal 165,000 followers from around the world. Video highlights show wads of cash being displayed and slot machines rolling up occasional big jackpots, including one in December, which toppled $15,000. The charges indicate that he would take a cut of his customers' winnings, ultimately keeping over half the total after issuing payouts. Once officials got wise to the brothers' alleged racket, they shifted operations to Detroit. The American Gaming Association, which represents sports books and casinos across the country, said it had never heard of such a gambling scheme.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow. They were paying this guy for what?
To make bets for them.
Mm-hmm. So you would like subscribe to their YouTube account or their TikTok account, and you would send them like $5.99, and then they would take your money and then go spend it at the slots.
And then if you won, they took half, gave you the other half.
Mm-hmm.
Why weren't they just showing up at the casino to gamble themselves?
I don't know.
Are they old timers or something that can't get out of bed?
Underage.
Underage. That is.
Maybe, I don't know, are there places around the world where you can't gamble? I don't know.
I've never heard anything quite like that, Josh. By damn, I haven't.
I'm that lazy.
You're right.
Yeah, definitely. Same here.
Just go do it for me. Let me know if we won.
A woman who worked at Switzerland's most popular art museum appears to have been the Rembrandt of robbery, as she sure as heck robbed her workplace blind. Authorities said the cashier used a variety of methods to skim money from ticket sales, including selling pre-printed tickets and pocketing the cash. She also sold the same ticket twice by giving some customers receipts instead of tickets, saying there was a technical problem, which meant the ticket couldn't be printed. The trick that led to an internal investigation and to the woman's firing, however, was when she canceled tickets issued by other workers, keeping the refunds for herself. Prosecutors said she started stealing from the museum months after she started working there and began stealing larger sums over time, living beyond her means with luxury vacations and multiple luxury cars. The 54-year-old was found guilty of stealing more than $1.1 million.
Oh!
Man, what a scam. The comedy special Tracy Morgan, Taking It Too Far, comes to Max today. Tracy tackles topics like dating in his 50s and his dysfunctional family. Then on Peacock, all 8 episodes of Killing It Season 2 are available today. Craig Foster enters a snake hunting contest to achieve his dream of becoming an entrepreneur. Sean Penn, 63 today. Robert De Niro, 80 today.
Wow.
Good luck to traveling IT Jesus having his cancerous nut removed. That is from Jeff Sis Jesus. Best of luck.
Joining the Uno Club.
Yeah, I know someone in the Uno Club.
Me too.
We welcome to the world 2 new Brotherhood members, twin boys, as a matter of fact, born yesterday from Show Me Your Balloon Not Jesus.
God dang.
That's one of my favorites when you have a touching, nice text followed by something so crass.
Yeah. My grandfather passed away the other day. Can you give me a shout out? My name is Booger Eating Derelict.
Blood fart.
Yeah, blood.
Papa Shot Jesus checked in to let us know the Cologne Fire Department, where he works, is hosting their annual Firehouse Drive and movie fundraiser event. They're playing Minions 2 and Mamma Mia tomorrow night. Then Top Gun Maverick and Mario Saturday night.
Oh, that's a hell of a double feature.
What the hell is going on over there?
Shout out from Minnesota, Malting Jesus, to all the firefighters from around the country coming to the Twin Cities for a Fools Convention. Fraternal Order of Leatherhead Society. Welcome to town. Happy birthday to the beautiful IT miracle worker Jesus and the even more beautiful, sassy Raiders fan Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Care 11's Randy Shaver.
24/7, he's nude in his unit, but for 10 to 15 minutes a day, he will go near the windows and he will expose himself and touch himself.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Don't tell me you don't know Blink 182.
I'll be honest, never heard of Blink 182.
Are you kidding me?
Sounds like a fighter jet to me.
Let's get out of here. You don't know Blink 182?
I probably know the song.
Yeah. All the small things? No?
Sing it for me. I might recognize.
Small things.
Oh, okay, don't sing it anymore.
Say it ain't so. Tom DeLonge has had a lot of Padres games. Big fan. I Miss You. You don't know that one?
I don't think so. I mean, I might if I could hear the song.
Tom has this like very distinct nasally voice. So he goes, "Where are you? And I'm so sorry."
Now I recognize
you
it.
You got
you
it
sound
now.
just
Thank
like him.
you.
Yeah,
about time.
My opinion, no one should ever feel bad about not knowing Blink 182.
Sure.
Good Lord, I should have gone to the men's room.
Uh-oh.
Just a number 1 this time.
Should we take a break?
Well, I got nowheres to go. Oh, I got an idea. Someone bring in my current contract.
It's too heavy.
I'll show them what I think of that contract, but I should have gone to the men's room. Hi, Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you on board.
Nice to be here.
Oh, Randy will be pumped about this. I got a fine story to start with here for you, Randy Shaver. Not really a story, but a fine topic to discuss. Check this out. Check out how pumped Randy gets. Hey, Randy.
Yes, Nick.
We're officially 1 week away from the Minnesota State Fair.
Today's the day.
You son of a...
Here it comes.
Don't you love that?
Sure.
Sounded very sincere, Randy.
I thought
Will you be out there 10 of the 12 days?
Yeah,
or,
I thought maybe
or
your
maybe less. I mean,
I thought your exposure, and don't get cute with that, was going to be limited in the next this time around, or in the next couple of. I thought someone was kind of taking the brunt of it. Or you're still taking the brunt of it?
Well, I mean, we're not out there all day.
No.
That's what you're asking.
No, but you still do shows.
We do the 4, 5, and 6 live out
all
there.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's a week away.
Yeah. There'll be a couple of days when I won't be out there because of high school football, but I'll be out there for probably about 5 days.
And it might just be hotter than hell.
It looks like it.
Ooh.
You're gonna get
Normally this time of year we will get a couple of days that are just super steamy. So.
You're going to get your signature milkshake, you think, this year?
You know, Josh, I probably will on my way over to the Care Barn.
I like that you have that tradition. I think everybody's got that one food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to do it.
And every year it keeps getting more expensive.
That is true.
You cheap
amazing.
bastard.
I wish I would have taken a picture or written down what it was the first time I bought it, which is probably, 40 years ago, and what it is now. Because what it is now is pretty expensive.
And
what's the all-you-can-drink milk? We've talked about it before. Like when we were kids, we went a couple times with my parents, and they would fill us up on the all-you-can-drink milk for a nickel. So try and save money. We'd just be drinking milk.
I would have physically attacked my parents had they made us hang out at the all-you-can-drink milk booth when I was a kid.
I love that booth. That's one of my favorite, but I am a milk whore, so. I think the last time, Josh, I believe it was $2 or $2.50.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It was a quarter when I was a kid.
Yes, for unlimited.
Yeah,
I mean that when you put that in perspective, I mean that's not terrible.
No
but
offense,
because
but-
it used to be 5 cents.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, everything, of course, goes up in price. No offense, but even when I was a kid, when we'd walk by the all-you-can-drink milk booth, I would look over and think, what a bunch of dorks. There's perfectly good pop and beer everywhere, and you're hanging out at the damn all-you-can-drink. What do you want gas? Is that what you're here to get? There's better ways to get gas here.
Yes, there is.
But the fair is an exciting time. Everybody knows that.
Well, it's the official end of summer, right?
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
It's been a hot bitch.
It has been for the most part, but yeah.
Wapple and I hate air conditioning. We've said it a few times here in the last couple. We can't wait for winter so we can turn the friggin' furnace on. I'm tired of freezing in this building because of the goddamn air conditioning.
It's so stupid. You have to wear a sweatshirt in here in studio, and then you go outside once you're done with the show and it's 1,000,000 degrees.
Yep.
Then you're sweating.
Wapple was in here yesterday dressed like an ice fishing guide.
And then you go to like Cub or something afterwards, and you look like an idiot sweating at Cub. They're like, dude, look at the weather.
Yep, absolutely, Wapple. I feel you.
So there you go.
I felt like I had a glimpse into your day there.
We've me and Wapple have complained about this so many times.
I thought you loved the cold, Ashley.
I absolutely do, but the part that I don't like is when I leave and I'm just like in sweatpants and a sweatshirt and it's 80 degrees out.
Wapple was dressed like he was going on an elk hunt in Baudette yesterday. And it's friggin' July something or another. It's unbelievable. All right, I just wanted to bust your chops a little bit about the fair, but you talk about the cost. Of course, admission is, if you're my age or older, you look at the cost to get in. You can't believe
it's a pricey deal.
I remember when I was a kid, my dad would sit in the beer garden or the cow barns all day long with his cowboy buddies, and my brother and I would run up to the old man and we'd get a 20 off of him, and that would keep us on the midway for hours.
Yeah,
a 20,
anymore.
a friggin' 20, and we'd go.
Yeah, you can't. It's one of those things with the family. It'd be tough to go more than once, maybe twice.
Absolutely.
I've dummied down my food intake quite a bit, and that's been replaced with beer, so that has helped. But usually, I get done with the 12 days of the fair, and I'm like, wow, I've only had 3 cheese on a stick the whole time.
A couple people are texting in saying, Randy Shaver, you like to eat those milkshakes, huh? Is that what a couple of them are asking? Is that what keeps that ass all fat?
Nice and plump.
That and cornbread.
Oh, by the way, congratulations, Randy.
What's that for?
Congratulations on the big numbers you put up again for your golf event.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They just came out. We just kind of finalized everything the other day. Just short of $500,000.
Is that around a record?
That is a record for us.
It is a record.
Yeah, it's a record for us. And, I think we're going to be around 1.2 million in January to allocate. So that would also be a record for us.
Oh, someone just texted in $500,000. Oh, congratulations, Randy. You can now park at the fair this That's great. $500,000, and once you add up this and that, it could be more than $1 million?
Yeah, tackle cancer.
Oh, sure.
Those high school football coaches are amazing. This is year 12. It's hard to believe, but that has been around for 11 years, going on 12 this fall, and they've already set a goal of $500,000. So if that were to happen, we're going to be in incredible shape to hand out a lot of money to cancer researchers and patient aid projects in January. So
that's awesome.
Outstanding. We're happy for you. It's a great event.
Yeah, thank you.
I was lucky enough to get an invite to the gala there at Medina. It's always been a good time. Now, you receive a lot of help from volunteers, don't you, Randy?
We do. We are very dependent on volunteers for all the things that we do. As I've said this before, The charity operates on 8% expenses. So 92 cents of every dollar we raise goes to the charity, which I think is pretty unheard of. And so we do rely on volunteers.
You know, Josh and I work with people who are too selfish to volunteer their time.
Get out of
Yeah,
here.
it's come up recently.
We found that out last week.
I forget who. Now, I remember there was 2 of us who volunteered on Friday.
Last Friday.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
Who was the other person?
The other one was me.
And then there's 3 other people on the show
They
that
did
were
not.
invited to volunteer.
They were invited. They didn't show up.
And one person said they were going to go and didn't show.
Hey, I like charity. Randy can vouch for me. I went to his charity stuff. Where were you, Josh?
Where was I? Oh, I don't know. Youth sports. I'm sorry I have a son. My fault.
I've gotten to be friendly, Josh. And
I donate. Did you donate any money?
He donated.
Yes, I did.
You're full of crap. You're full of it.
Nick saw it. I had that cool cup.
What are we talking about now?
No, I just gave money. I wasn't expecting a cool cup.
Oh.
We're more charitable over here.
No, I need something in return, Josh.
Boy, it was a windy day, as you know, here in town yesterday, and the baseball was carrying like a mother at Target Field. 6 dongs in the ball game. Unfortunately, the Tigers had 4. Twins had 2. Tigers got the 8-7 win there, Randy Shaver.
Unfortunately so, yeah. I mean, the top of the Tigers lineup, they could have played yesterday without Cabrera, McKinstry, Ibanez, and Short and Rogers and been just fine, because the top 5 guys got 10 hits and knocked in all the runs, and the Twins really had no answer for getting out Riley Green yesterday. And Torkelson has replaced Cabrera now as the Twins killer.
Mm-hmm.
He has really clobbered Twins pitching.
Yeah, Griffin Jacks got knocked around pretty good.
It was not a good outing for him.
And, the boys had a 4-0 lead. That went away. 7th inning was a total
8
nightmare.
Straight runs by the Tigers.
Yeah.
What is the deal with the Tigers this year and the Twins? They have
So
just
weird.
had their numbers, right?
I mean, I keep hearing Twins fans say, "Oh, they keep dropping these games to the Tigers." The Tigers are not that bad of a baseball club.
They aren't.
I don't think they should be lumped in with Kansas City and Oakland. But a lot of Twins fans talk about the Tigers as if they should be.
I agree with you.
Yeah, they're not a bad friggin' lineup.
I think the Tigers are starting to figure some things out,
Yeah.
and they just their whole deal is waiting on these youngsters to kind of get their footing to a point where it's kind of Torkelson and Riley Green and Badu. These guys are young guys who are starting to. I mean, Riley Green's hitting over 300, so he's starting to figure some things out for them. They remind me a little bit of the Twins' young guys, like Royce Lewis and Julian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Wallner. They kind of got that same vibe going right now.
I agree with you.
But their starting pitching is not even close to what the Twins have right now.
Yes, Randy.
I was going to add one thing. I saw Aaron Gleeman writes for The Athletic, and he covers the Twins. I saw a tweet from him yesterday about Royce Lewis, which I thought was fabulous.
Mm-hmm.
Royce Lewis, with runners in scoring position, is batting .455 right now.
Ooh.
Which is one, and there was a quote from Rocco in the story where he says, we just kind of all look at each other in the dugout when Lewis is up and there's men in scoring position, like we just figure he's going to knock him in. It's just like it feels like a given that the guy, for whatever reason,
he is that damn good.
It takes it to a different level at the plate when there's runners in scoring position. And we saw that kind of player before, and I'm not trying to equate the two, but Puckett was a lot like that.
Yeah.
When there were runners in scoring position, Kirby always found a way to shorten that swing and make things happen at the plate. So, I mean, there's a lot of positives that are going on with the Twins right now. They can just – it's all about putting everything together at the same time, though.
Yeah.
And we've seen stretches, but now we're mid-August, last 6 weeks of the season. Hopefully they can put it all together.
Still 4 games ahead of Cleveland last I looked.
Yep.
They're off today. Tomorrow night, they get started with a 3-game series at home with a team that had Randy's fly going up and down like a window shade earlier this baseball
no doubt,
season.
Man.
The
At the beginning of the
Pittsburgh Pirates.
season, I was all over the Pirates and just how great they were playing. Boy, did they bottom out.
Oh.
Just so bad. Wow.
Hey, Northside Front Load Jesus texted the program. He doesn't like the fair either. He says, I really love how Randy hates the fair. Finally, some common sense comes to the radio show.
He is a wise man.
Christian Vasquez of the Twins should have been dead yesterday.
Oh, my God.
Oh, golly. Oh, my. Vasquez nearly got hit in the face with that pitch.
Top of the helmet right there. Oh,
right on the brim of the helmet.
Better go buy a Powerball ticket.
You know you're listening to Dick Bramer when you hear an oh golly.
Oh, that was so could have been disastrous.
Would have ended up in the same at the same dentist's office as Kyle Farmer.
Could have.
right, yeah.
Well, I don't even know if that would have hit him in the mouth. I think
It
it was
would have
gonna
hit him in the nose.
in the eye. Yeah.
That was high up.
That hit him right on the brim of the batting helmet. And that, they've positioned those batting circles to kind of really technically be in a place where you should not have to worry about getting a foul ball.
Right.
But, wow.
If I remember right,
That didn't even bounce, did it?
No.
I was trying to tell if it bounced. I couldn't see.
Is this up on our website,
Yes,
Ashley?
it is.
And it really wasn't a hard swing. He was kind of like I wouldn't say a check swing, but he was just trying to
trying to protect the plate.
Yeah, protect the plate.
Yeah.
So, but even that was absolutely zero time for Vasquez to react. There was just no time.
If you missed this, check out the video. Christian Vasquez is standing somewhere near the batter's box. Donnie F. Barrels is up to the plate. Barrels fouls one back. Vasquez never sees it coming, and it direct hit. It made a direct hit, direct contact with the brim of his batting helmet. An inch lower, it would have disintegrated his face.
Oh, it just would have been awful.
And he laughed it off. He's a catcher. He's taking a beating back there in about every way possible, but holy balls.
Yeah, that was
the concern in Dick Bramer's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
All right. So Rocco made a hint yesterday that Byron Buxton likely won't be on the field or in the lineup until September.
Are we going to see him again this year?
It has just been the story of his career.
Yeah, it has. It's a damn
shame, right? It's so disheartening because we all agree he has all the talent in the world to be an every season All-Star, and it just never happened.
Well, I still love Byron Buxton. I'm still a huge fan.
Yep.
And I hope
he's a cool dude.
I hope the best for him. More and more I hear this anger coming from Twins fans towards Byron Buxton. And I even heard a guy at a bar once, someone was, who's your favorite player? Who's your least favorite player? One guy's like, well, I don't like Buxton. And someone said, why? Because he's always hurt.
That's not his fault.
What the hell? Doesn't make any sense to me. You're angry. You don't like the guy.
Well, he's probably angry because he's not able to be on the field.
No, Randy, that's not the way the conversation went. If you're just frustrated that a player can't get on the field, I get that. But that's not the way the conversation went. I hate him.
I get it.
He sucks. He's never on he's always hurt. You try it, tough guy. All right? 162 friggin' games a year, or at least the potential for that. You get where I'm going.
Well,
it's the same nonsense. The anger that was directed towards Joe Mauer for a while here in town. I didn't understand it.
Well, that's a little bit different because people felt like he was overpaid for what he was doing, which is such BS. Back to Buxton, though, the plan was to DH him all year.
Right.
So that he could stay healthy. Right. That plan didn't even work. So
sucks.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Speaking of injuries, we played this earlier. Another big leaguer went down after fouling a baseball off his own penis and balls.
Gets Nootbaar.
That does not look like it's just a run-of-the-mill, off-the-shin kind of feeling. I mean, he is in some serious pain.
Oh. Think we know why?
I said earlier, baseball's been fun to watch the last couple of nights. This was a carbon copy of, who was it from the Padres?
Yeah.
That neutered himself with a foul ball.
Was it Tatis?
No, the other big gun that came over
Soto?
from Washington. Soto, yeah.
Soto.
This was your buddy Lars Nootbaar, Randy, of the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, that's got to hurt.
He was batting in the bottom of the fifth. He chops a change up into the dirt. It bounces up, and it obliterated his pecker.
Boy, that looked like it affected him more so than the Soto one. He's rolling around on the ground.
Josh and I noticed right away. Watch the video. He, and I would almost guarantee this was unconscious. He was in the fetal position.
Yeah. And he was like rolling back and forth.
Like a baby.
In one of the times I watched the video, there's a guy in the background, seats behind home plate. He's wearing a red shirt, I think, and he puts his hands on his head like, his nuts. They're gone.
They're gone forever.
And he seems to be the only one concerned. Even the trainer's kind of smiling about it.
I mean, really, what are the odds of that? That the ball you'd hit it off the bat at that angle, it would bounce on the corner of the plate, right? It was like on the edge of the plate, which is what changed the direction of it. Yeah.
You know what it is? I'm going to get all...
I'm going to blame his last name, Nootbaar.
You got it right, the Nootbaar.
I'm going to get all stat-casty on you here for a minute. I wonder if it's the uppercut swing. That's what they always say.
You know what? You might be right.
The young kids have this uppercut swing, bad habit of always trying to hit the home run. You probably got to be taking an uppercut swing in order to foul the ball directly down and then up into your bagola.
Oh, God. That's just...
He finished the at-bat. He struck out, but then he got the hell out of there.
Yeah, Oh, man, the replay from the third base side. That's a direct hit.
Do you see the guy like Josh was describing who's sympathizing with the whole situation with his hands on his head?
Yeah.
He's taking a shot to the pills before that guy.
He knows that pain.
After the game, the Cardinals said that Nootbaar left the game with, quote, a lower abdomen contusion.
Oh, God.
Even though we all know the real reason was the full-on obliteration of his tallywhacker.
Brutal.
Speaking of getting hit by foul balls, I always like talking about this, and we always do mention it on the anniversary of this event. 66 years ago today, in 1957, Richie Ashburn of the Philadelphia Phillies hit a foul ball that accidentally hit a lady in the stands by the name of Alice Roth, and it broke her nose for her. As she was being taken out on a stretcher, Ashburn hit her with another foul ball. It's one of the greatest moments in baseball history. Speaking of how does that happen? Breaks her nose. Oh, God, take me to the hospital. She's being stretchered out.
Can't get worse than this.
Ashburn's like,
Can't get worse than this.
You know, Ashburn's looking into the stands going, oh, for Christ's sake, it looks like I broke a lady's nose. All right, let's play ball. He sends another foul ball, hits her with the next one.
A kid in my high school during a hockey game, he was one of the best players. I don't think he was trying to clear the puck or something, and it went over the boards and into the stands. Hit his girlfriend right in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We had a terrible thing when I was in high school. One of the cheerleaders got smoked in the schnoz by a puck. I mean, she was unconscious for a while. The whole works, right? Wow. The next hockey season, they raised the glass. I don't know. I've never been good at estimating height and weight. But the glass it was almost impossible after that incident to chip a puck over the glass at our home rink. They didn't want anyone else getting brained. You want to keep talking about terrible injuries? It happened again, Randy Shaver. A bullfighter got violently gored in his bottom. And there's video you can watch. I would imagine it's up on our website.
Yes. Owie.
Guy took a bull's horn right in the can.
Brutally.
This one I will pass on looking at.
It's not as bad. They call it a graphic video. It's not as bad as you
I will
think.
pass on looking at.
Alejandro Conquero. He's a famous matador. His father was also a famous matador.
Wow.
In Madrid, Spain. Oh, he's out there. He's dancing around with the bull. He's got a pink cape. You know, he's doing his cute routine, and then one of the bull's horns caught him, and he goes flying up in the air. And as he's trying to crawl away, in that prone position, That's when it turned into a scene from Pornhub. And the bull rammed his horns right into this guy's little hiney.
Pornhub.
Got to hurt.
Tossed him up in the air by his beehole. It reminded me of one of my past contract negotiations here at the radio station. I know what you're saying. 2 contract jokes in the same break? Yeah. We just had a boss in town. We're thinking about asking him for some more money. Josh was there. I got boned hard.
Oh, you got boned big time.
Oh, I got boned.
With the smile on the other person's face.
Yep.
We knew it was a boning, but it wasn't until later we found out this was a gang boning.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
It was really bad.
And he's right. Smiling, shaking hands.
Oh, boy.
And the whole time I was getting dry boned. So this poor bullfighter.
No cuddling.
No.
Just kicked him right out. You're out of here, man.
Other matadors jumped into the ring and diverted the bull away from Senor Conquero. He was rushed off to the hospital. He says he's doing fine. I'm fine, everybody, he says.
Yeah, I'll keep it right back in there.
Nothing to see here.
Do you want to hear the doctor's description of the injury? Anybody?
I bet Randy does not.
The doctors,
Go ahead.
The doctor said that the, matador suffered a goring in the posterior perennial region, which dissects the rectum through the coccyx and could affect the external sphincter of the anus.
It's not good.
Not sure what I said there. I recognize some of the hilarious words in there. But it makes it even more ridiculous that when they asked the matador how was he doing, he said, I'm fine. Fine, look at me.
I think I know what the doctor's talking about, only because one time my brother thought it was a good idea to sit on a snowboard instead of ride it the correct way.
Ouch.
And so some things happened, ended up in the hospital, and he was like centimeters away, I guess, if you like tear the opening of your butt.
Do we have to do this today?
It'll it just won't work. Like you have to be like on a bag situation for like ever or something like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw a buddy take a picket back there trying to jump a picket fence.
Oh,
that's brutal.
He slipped on some grass and that was rough.
Randy, do you want to take 5 with me?
Oh my
Randy,
God.
are you trying to eat chocolate chip pancakes right now or something?
Oh, pudding.
Yeah, it's the
It's the pudding.
Enough of the visuals here.
Yeah, I know some folks who got their gear torn up down there. It's not good. And then these damn football practice fights are swallowing up people. A coach got rolled the other day. The New York Jets, listen to this title, New York Jets senior defensive assistant / cornerbacks coach, a fella by the name of Tony Oden. He had to go to the hospital. He's on the sideline, and a little scrap kicks in with the New York Jets, and the poor guy gets rolled over by a bunch of dudes that are likely not even going to make the team in the first place. Mm-hmm. He's expected to be fine, but he's got swallowed up by a mass of angry
that's what happens
future
when
XFLers.
Teams practice together. I mean, I can remember so many Viking training camps where that's kind of was the focus the first few days when they were in full pads, was how many fights would there be? And usually between offensive and defensive linemen was normally what would happen.
Kind of seemed like on the most recent episode of Hard Knocks, the coaches were all for it. They liked it a little bit.
For the fighting.
That they were chippy.
Yeah. That's that stupid football coachy stuff, you know?
Yeah.
They love
Showing
fights.
they want it.
They love fights and wasn't Deion Sanders? He's
he's the extreme. I've got that clip.
Yesterday, Deion Sanders, he's coaching the University of Colorado. There's a fight on the field, and then when it broke up, he chewed out some players who didn't get involved in the fight.
Yeah, he said one.
Go ahead, sorry, Randy.
I was going to say, he said, if one's fighting, we're all fighting, or something like that.
I seen 2 of y'all walking off over there, and you got a key teammate fighting. What they do that there?
Nowhere.
What they do that there?
Not here.
In one fight, we all fight. You understand that? I don't want to see y'all walking off when somebody's fight.
Yes, sir.
Never again.
That's all phony.
Jeez, dude needs some blood pressure pills.
Did you notice what he said in there? A key team fight. Key team moment fight.
A key team player. I thought he said.
I thought he said moment. I was like, what?
Well, he shouted. That's just football coaches being hard-ons.
Yeah.
They're going to make all that noise to try to build, what's the word, Josh? Solidarity. And then in a real game, if anybody jumps in on a fight, they're going to get their ass chewed out. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's just football dorks being football dorks.
My favorite part is when he said, "How do you do here?" Did you hear that?
What do you do there?
That's like the chefs on
The Muppet Show.
The Muppet Show.
What do you do there?
Where to do today?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you do there?
Howdy doody there.
Oh, you got to hold on to that clip.
They took her job. By the way, back to people getting rolled up on the sideline. When you guys played youth football, did you do what I did? Sometimes when there was a dickhead dad who was running the chains, sometimes I'd try to knock players into that dad.
Did you really?
Yeah. Anybody? Did you try to hurt older gentlemen at the game because you didn't like them?
I saw it happen. I don't know if anybody did it intentionally.
Because
though.
the guys holding the chains, they're at least told not to move, right? You gotta. So I always like to not.
They're told to drop the chains and back up.
Well, yeah, but they're usually the chain gang is the last one to get out the way, right, Randy Shaver?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think it's changed now, though. I think
the bottom
game
line
is
is
so much faster.
If there was a dad that I didn't like on the sidelines, I often tried to throw players into that dad's knees.
Did it ever work?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I like watching him go ass over apple cart. Twins starting pitcher Sonny Gray, back to baseball here real quick. Couple more baseball stories. Twins starting pitcher Sonny Gray made a list on yardbarker.com of the 25 big league players who will determine this season's pennant races. I'm not sure exactly what they mean by that, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. They say about Sonny, the AL Central has been by far the weakest division in baseball, but all you need to do is get a ticket to the dance in October to make some noise, and that's exactly what the Twins are hoping to do. If they get in, nobody will be excited to face their pitching staff in a short series. Veteran Sonny Gray has quietly been very good. That's the route they're taking, and I agree with what they're saying. 3-game series, Sonny, maybe Joe Ryan gets back to his old self. Kente, they could do some damage, Randy.
Well, you're
I've already
forgetting
predicted
Pablo
they're going to
Lopez,
break.
too,
I
so,
forgot about Pablo. He's terrific.
Yeah,
I don't know
right.
how I forgot about Pablo.
So, I don't, it's kind of the same formula that the Twins used in 87 and 90, well, 87 for sure.
Yeah.
Because it was Blyleven, Frankie, and Straker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only 3 starting pitchers they used throughout the postseason, right? Because they were spaced out enough that all they needed to do was start 3 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So
there you go. I suppose that's about it for baseball. The story going around town is that the Golden Gophers Football Club has one of the toughest schedules in the country coming up here.
I agree. Yeah.
ESPN, they have some cute football power index computer machine, and it says that PJ Fleck's schedule is the second toughest in the land behind only Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I get to go to two of the games this year.
Is that right?
Which ones?
Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Both of the Nebraska games.
What about you
2
said
weeks from today?
You said Nebraska, and then I couldn't make out what else you said.
I think both of the times they come here. Do they come here twice?
No.
I'm not really sure of that.
Maybe you're thinking of Northwestern.
Maybe.
No, that game's on the road.
My boyfriend's family gets season tickets. So
well, they get Nebraska to start the season.
Word.
They host Eastern Michigan, who actually was very good last year and went to a bowl game.
Yeah.
They go to North Carolina to face Heisman Trophy candidate Drake May, the quarterback.
Well, plus that's Flair country.
Yeah, Northwestern is a garbage pile, so don't worry about that one.
Oh.
They will face Michigan at home.
You skipped over the Raging Cajuns from Louisiana University.
They'll win that game.
Michigan, right.
They get Michigan at home. They go to Iowa.
That's
they
the
get
other
Michigan
one.
State at home. They get Illinois at home, who has Brett Bielema has beaten them 9 straight times.
Oh, wow.
They go to Purdue. They go to Ohio State, and they host Wisconsin.
You're not going to the Iowa game, actually.
That's pretty brutal.
No.
But imagine now when you add USC, UCLA, Washington, and Oregon in that schedule. When that happens, I mean,
son of a bee,
it's going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley, I'm not trying to be a dick, but the Iowa game, that's at the Iowegians.
No, Michigan.
You know what?
Michigan game in October.
At this point,
Yep, that's the one I'm
Ashley,
going to.
at this point, I don't even care what games you're going to. I just don't. Right, Josh?
I wasn't listening.
It's unbelievable around here. No, it's going to be a hell of a deal. A lot of good clubs, and like you said, when a few more of those West Coast clubs move in, Jesus Christ.
PJ is framing this as every good coach should. It's an opportunity. It's not daunting. And they are going to find out how good they are. There's just no question. I think they can get through the first part of that schedule with a decent record. They can still compete for the West in the Big Ten. So
I'll tell you what.
Staying healthy is going to be the key, though.
According to a story from, I believe, Channel 4's website setup, a gal named Lexi Hugeback. Maybe I'm saying that incorrectly. What the hell are you laughing at?
She got a big butt or what?
Well, that's her last name, or it could be Hugeback.
Lexi Hugeback from Casson, Minnesota, is Minnesota's first professional cornhole player. She turned pro last fall.
Young gal, too.
How old? 22?
22.
What is the official feat from one board to the other when you're a professional cornhole?
No idea. No idea.
I'd like to know.
I've only played it a handful of times, and like I said before, with all due respect to cornhole enthusiasts, it's one of those games where I played it once and I was good for about a year and a half. I played it again. I was good for about 3 years. I'm just not, as you can tell, all that wild about bags, cornhole, whatever you want to call it.
40 feet.
40 feet is the
that's not what I'm
distance?
seeing.
No, that's the size of the whole court, Walpole.
Yeah, according to uscornhole.com, which is a much different website than I thought it was going to be. The boards are positioned 27 feet from the front edge to the front edge between boards.
Okay.
And it's about 33 feet between holes.
This gal started her career at barbecues and parties just like the rest of us. She whooped everybody's ass. So she decided to enter some local tournaments, and her career took smooth off. Last summer, maybe it was last summer, she said she made enough money to buy a dog.
Oh, cool.
She completed completed isn't the word. She competed in the World Championships this month in South Carolina. She's coming back from a back injury suffered while playing basketball, don't you know? She also plays hoops for Rochester Community and Technical College. And it says here they just want to...
She's a college student?
College student.
Okay.
Maybe she just got out. I'm not sure. That Rochester Community and Technical College, Randy Shaver, just won a JUCO D3 national championship.
Hot damn.
In bags?
No, in basketball.
I wonder if that helps her.
I don't know. Just putting something in a hole and take it easy. Everybody take it easy.
The wrist movement kind of vibe.
She's now planning to be a bags pro from now until they throw her out. She competes against dudes and Czechs in the American Cornhole League with people of all ages playing against each other. So there's not like an age group or anything. You might take on some old prick that's 84 and stomp his guts out, hopefully. Go ahead, Betsy.
Alexi.
Just plain Lexi.
I'm happy for you.
Whoever you are.
That never grabbed me, though, that gimmick.
Cornhole?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's fun.
I think it's a very... It's not a sport to me.
Takes forever.
It's a recreational activity.
That's the part that drives me nuts, is it takes forever.
It does.
And I just want to lose. I just want to get this over with.
It totally gets to the point where you're like, please just beat me. Get in the hole, get in the hole.
But you're supposed to drink during that, right?
I don't need
It's supposed to be a relaxing
I can also sit in a chair and drink, too.
Yeah, but you get to a point, Randy, where you can't really have any more drinks if you want to do decent at bags. There's a sweet spot.
I don't know. There is something to say about that aiming fluid. It's like when we shoot.
I know it certainly helps my golf game.
Yeah, Ashley, you play pocket billiards. You don't.
I like that with pocket billiards too.
You don't try to fill up on aiming fluid before a game.
A couple help, but to be honest, when I've played sober, I'm like, oh wow, maybe I should play sober.
You're a little better. Sober.
I'm with Nick. The aiming fluid for billiards is that's the only way to play.
It loosens you up.
It does.
Randy Shaver, you're a golfer, but yet
No,
we
I'm
still.
not, but that's fine.
Wish you were.
Yeah, I wish I was.
We've forgiven you for that many times over the years for being a golfer.
I'm a good golf cart driver.
Oh, the
Well,
best.
that's up for debate.
That's up for debate.
What do you think of this now? There's a big hubbub going on. People shouting at each other back and forth on social media about whether dudes on the PGA Tour should be allowed to wear shorts.
I think they should.
They should absolutely be allowed to wear
I think that's really
shorts.
stupid deal.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I mean, every person basically that goes out to play golf during the summertime is wearing shorts.
If you're not, you're a psycho.
It doesn't change the game. It's not an advantage for one player or another. It really doesn't matter for the game itself.
Here's what started the
really,
argument.
I really think they should allow them to wear shorts.
Yeah, here's what started the argument. I think this was last weekend.
Yeah, they do in the live event, the live tournaments, right?
I have no idea.
Live, they allow them to wear shorts.
Yeah, that was one of the big deals about Live was they were like, wow, we can play music and we can wear shorts.
Yeah.
Okay. Folks watched some pro golfer over the weekend sweat right through his damn pants.
Absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, that was a lot of
it
sweat.
was so gross.
That'd be me.
My girlfriend was watching it with me too, and she's like, "Oh, come on! You can see the dude's nuts."
You could see he's nuts.
Yeah.
It was pretty swampy back there.
What the hell are you?
Nuts.
Yeah, no, D's nuts.
Yeah,
What the hell are you and the landlord doing sitting down watching golf, for Christ's sake?
really.
I thought you guys were cool.
No, I watch golf on Sundays. Yeah.
Does she like it or?
Not a boy waffle. I like
Jesus.
that.
No,
No.
that's terrible.
Yeah, you watch some golf, do some laundry.
Yeah.
It's very relaxing sport to watch.
Go out on
Wow.
the deck, have a couple beers. Say, man, I wish I could put that in.
Please stop talking.
I wish I could put that.
Yeah, that got confusing at the end.
There are times I think that you and I are coming together as friends, and then there are times when I realize why we aren't.
Yeah, I do something stupid like this.
Can I tell you someone said something about seeing somebody's nuts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you this great prank again that my buddy and his dad used to play on bar patrons years and years ago? This buddy of mine who's getting married in a few weeks, his dad was one of the all-time characters. I mean, I could tell you stories all friggin' day about his dad. Unfortunately, his dad checked out a while back, but his dad was the ultimate character. And he would go around the bar when my buddy was a little kid. He would go around the bar and walk up to women and say, "Hey, you want to see my kid's nuts?" And the ladies would say, "Excuse me? That is absolutely..." And he'd keep trying, go to another table to these other women. "You want to see my kid's nuts?" And the kid standing there right with him, And the ladies would be like, "Are you insane? I would never..." And then finally, he'd find one of the women to humor him and say, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And then my buddy would put his thumbs in his ears and go,
That is nuts.
I always thought that was cute. Apparently, the rest of you can F
I'm
off.
sorry, I don't get it. Yeah.
Like he's nuts. He's crazy.
Like the little kid's crazy. He's
Oh,
nuts.
Oh,
okay.
the kid would do it. I thought you meant the dad would do it. I was like,
Well,
that doesn't make any sense.
All right, Wapple, tell us again. What's your Sunday look
was
like?
it the part when
All right, so me and my girlfriend
hey,
we do
hey,
some
Wapple.
laundry, and
Wapple,
then we
we're-
have some golf on the TV.
We're friends again now, Wapple, because you got the joke. Jesus. Gotta try that on a better crowd next time.
All right, Ashley, what games are you going to?
Yeah, right.
Run down.
Both Michigan games, actually. It's been cleared up.
Randy Shaver, you know what? You're off the hook tomorrow. No dad fight.
Oh no.
Brad Ryder's not available.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's got better things to do.
So just a quiet Friday then.
Yeah, you can just chill.
Oh, so we're not even on?
No.
Oh, okay.
We're on. We're just
Have some
skipping.
aiming fluid.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
How sad would this program be if we took a day off because Brad couldn't make it? No. We'll just relax and have a little chit-chat like we did today.
Well, maybe Dana can come up with something that we could at least have a guess a list of something or other.
Well, we can always come up with something for you.
I mean, I get in a rhythm.
I know.
Fridays are my...
All great athletes do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could give you guys a PGA Tour update tomorrow.
Please do.
Atta boy.
Do whatever you got to do, Wapple. Just hope we don't have technical problems with your mic. We'll talk to you tomorrow, Randy.
Sounds good.
We'll be back in a minute.
Half-assed morning show.
69. This show sucks. Who are you, fart knockers?
93X.
Hey, Minnesota. CJ Ham here. Huddle up for a second. You need someone to go the extra yard when your furnace or AC is out? Give the ball to the certified pros at Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. They've been at it for 90 years. Ready? Break.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Deals on deals on deals. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals. Standard Heating, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930.
Are you currently enjoying the show on the Stitcher app? Then you need to know Stitcher is going away on August 29th. Yep. Going away, as in kaput, gone, dead. Rest in peace, Stitcher, and thanks for 15 years of service to the podcast community. So switch to another podcast app and follow this show there. Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizzaed. French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
The 93X Half-assed Morning Show.
Oh, my damn. What time is it? 8:32?
That's correct.
It is. Thank you for listening to the 93X Half-assed Morning Show. Thank you so much. We love our listening audience very, very much. I'm picturing a lot of younger women in their 20s listening to us right now, and they're completely braless.
I don't know how to feel about that.
And that's not some kind of perverted fantasy of mine. To be honest, my fantasies are much more sick, deprived, and detailed than that. I was just reading up on the new Go Braless movement that apparently gals in their 20s are running wild with. Are you following this, Ashley? You're a young lady in her 20s.
Yeah, I don't think I've worn a bra regularly since I was probably like 18.
But are you supportive of the movement?
Absolutely. Yeah.
What are we laughing about now?
You said supportive.
What is that? I don't understand.
Bra for support.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Well, we had to draw you a map on that one. As a stepdad to a girl in her 20s.
Yes.
I had asked her about this. Is this a thing? And she said she was not aware.
Oh.
She had not seen this.
That really surprises me.
Well, is she not a social media dork?
Meaning, is she not
tuned into social media?
Oh, I mentioned she's a girl in her 20s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's very tuned into social media.
Ah, man. Oh, well, I should ask you, Josh, do the terms of my probation allow me to talk any further about this?
Oh, yeah, you're right on the line.
I'm on the line, but not over the line?
No.
All over town, Josh, women in their 20s going as braless as the day they were born. Skipping the bra. It's taken the internet by storm, they say.
So, Ashley, did you say why you choose not to wear one?
In the beginning, I was always super self-conscious about like my arms, and when you wear bras, they make like this part of your armpit right here kind of like stick out a little bit.
Really?
And I'm sure I noticed it way more than anybody else did, but I originally stopped wearing them because I thought they made me look like fatter.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, and then it eventually turned into like I would try to wear a bra and I'd have one on for like an hour and it would be so painful on my sternum because I'm just not used to wearing them.
Yeah, I suppose your body's not used to that extra layer.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say this is common?
I think it's common, yeah.
If people your age or just women in general now?
Women in general now.
Interesting.
So common, going braless is now common? Really?
So my wife, like every once in a while, will be like, "Oh, we got to go do this or that." She's like, "Well, I got to put a bra on."
Yeah. See,
so she won't leave the house without one.
There's a difference between women that have more voluptuous breasts than a girl that doesn't. Like me, I can leave the house without a bra, no problem. No one's going to really notice. Your wife, I'd probably notice if she wasn't wearing a bra.
Yeah, does she have big boobs? I've never noticed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I always heard the women complain about the comfort thing. They're very uncomfortable. It's restrictive. It's painful at times. And then I did drag for charity once. And, I can confirm they're not comfortable at all.
They threw you in a bra?
Oh, yeah, threw me in a big old padded bra.
You did drag for charity?
Yeah, like a drag show.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. Oh, yeah, I remember.
Oh, I saw the picture.
Yeah,
you
pictures.
were gorgeous.
Hot tish. Yeah, that was beautiful.
You put on a bra even?
Yeah, big old stuffed bra.
That's right. You had the name Hot Tish.
Hot Tish, yep.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
The hashtag no bra has over 600 million tags, whatever that means, on TikTok. And women are sharing pictures. I think I got a few of you fellas' attention now. The women are sharing pictures of them wearing different outfits without a bra, with a bra, and then here's the before and after type thing. A lot of women said they joined the cause, the No Bra Challenge. That's what I guess you should look for on the internet, the No Bra Challenge. Women dialed into this because so many outfits, they say, that they might wear in the summer, like a tube top, look hideous when your bra is noticeable.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know tube tops were still a thing. That just reminds me of when I was a kid.
Oh, I see them quite often, actually. Did they just come back or something?
I don't know. I've had some for quite a bit.
No idea.
There was a woman that I was walking with my wife the other day, and I was telling there's this woman that got out of a car, and I thought, if she sneezes too hard, she's topless. I mean, that tube top was working hard.
Yeah, it was just strenuous.
Yeah, when I was a young kid, in the 70s and into the early 80s, in the summertime, women all over town, they would just strap on one of those tube tops. And as a young perverted kid, there were situations where I would just stare and think, God help us if that tube top would just give way. Mm-hmm. This would be the greatest day of my third grade year,
You do see them in stores a lot more than you used to.
Meaning to be sold?
Yeah.
So you've got young women, it says here mainly in their 20s, pushing this no bra, how do you say it, movement. One popular TikTok lady is going to attempt to go braless this whole week, and she'll update everyone with her. And there was one guy on TikTok who said he was very excited to follow her journey.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Especially after seeing a picture of her.
Yeah, she's top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's the picture I'm looking at?
Yeah.
Is that lady?
Yeah, that's the lady who's going to do the all-week challenge of no bras for the week.
Okay, she looks like where by the end of the week she might need to seek the help of a chiropractor.
I agree. Or she needs a kickstand or something because she's very top-heavy.
I'll be... yes, Josh?
I thought women liked sports bras a lot, Ashley.
Yeah, those are okay. They're kind of clunky, so they don't really look good under clothes unless you're wearing like athletic leisure. Then it would look good, but yeah, if you wear a fancy top, a sports bra is not the move.
Ashley, do I have this term right? Bralette?
Yeah, bralettes are they are superior to any other form of bra because they don't have like a hard wire bottom, and they're the straps are just more gentle, so it just makes it where you're not like sagging. You're still probably gonna nip, but you're not sagging.
I had no idea that was going to be said this morning.
No. Party darts, Cubby.
Yep.
Party darts. Of course, celebrities have gotten in on the trend, and then that pushes even more young people to go along with it. You know how young folks are. Oh my God, this famous person or that. I have to mimic what they're. Celebrities have gotten in on this braless trend too. Dua Lipa.
Ooh, hubba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Kendall Jenner have been posting braless pictures on the godless social media. But of course, Ashley was hinting at this earlier. If you're packing some pretty serious heat upstairs, somebody might be killed when you go braless. So not all women are on board because of the size. You might end up breaking somebody's jaw, or the shape of their boobs doesn't allow them for a braless lifestyle. One woman, I don't know if I've ever heard this before, but this is cute. One woman even joked that her boobs were divorced because they point away from each other. That's pretty good. They got divorced a few years ago. Well,
Dua Lipa.
Dua Lipa. Well, yeah. I don't like to disagree with you on many things, Josh, but I'm not seeing the hubba or the other hubba. I mean,
you don't find her attractive?
Not really, no.
Oh, man. Well,
No,
Mr. Picky.
That's not my style.
Which part?
I don't know. I just didn't find her that attractive.
I feel you. I'm with you. It's
Ashley's
not really my type.
Yeah.
She's pretty, but just not my type.
Yeah, she's pretty. Now, I know I'm not trying to make fun. Trust me, I'm not trying to make fun. Are there any guys in our listening audience who, because of being self-conscious, have ever worn a bra to...
The bro.
Well, that's a real thing?
The bro? Well, it's a real thing from Seinfeld.
Oh,
I remember. Ever made it. Yeah.
I remember the joke. But really, like you're going to a wedding, you're wearing I don't know.
Well, don't make those wraps for that?
They do.
See, I don't know. I don't know. So explain that to me. There's like dudes who might have grown a little up there can put a wrap around there.
Yeah, you run your
it's
chest.
like shapewear.
Really? Mm-hmm. I'm just curious because I'm sure you become self-conscious and you don't want to be seen. You want to keep them in place. Maybe you're running, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want them jacking up and down like a... Just curious.
You want me to wear a bra? No. A bra is for ladies. Meet the bro.
651-989-9393 if you have any experience, dudes, in wearing some kind of support system.
This is kind of different than what you're saying, Nick, but more and more male athletes are wearing like a sports bra type of thing because the teams use them to like monitor heart rate and all that kind of information.
Okay.
Yeah, I've noticed that. It kind of looks cute out there in those.
Yeah. Oh, is that what that strap thing is that goes over their nipples?
Yeah, they can do them like that too, but yeah, more and more like just straight up sports bras.
I mean, Josh, at this point, let's say you were built very differently than you are today. You're very slim, slender. You have a very provocative build.
Keep going.
Let's say you were the other way. You had a little extra weight on you. And you wanted to do something and not have your man boobs dancing all over town. Would you be able to strap on a bra and just say, you know what, F it? I think
I'd rather have surgery.
Oh,
and
okay.
Not say a word to anybody than wear a bra.
Okay, fair enough.
But they make compression shirts. I bet that would help out with that, right?
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yep.
Ooh, that doesn't sound comfortable. Compression shirt?
You should.
Well, people seem. I mean,
it's just a tight
people
shirt.
seem to love them.
Just a tight shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I can't stand the sensation of tight clothing.
Yeah, none of that kind of stuff looks very comfortable. If you saw like the shapewear stuff that some women like squeeze themselves into, you would think that they're rearranging their organs.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That tight?
because how crazy they are.
You ever, Josh, seen well, doesn't have to be your favorite. You ever seen a older singer in concert, a male, and it's obvious he's wearing a girdle?
No.
I've noticed that. To press the gut down.
Sure.
I understand that. I'm not trying to make fun, but I've seen that before. Well, there you go. The braless movement is just beginning, so you better get on Facebook as fast as you can, some of you dudes.
Half-assed morning show 93X.
Oh, man, here's the deal. It is now 8:52. We're getting there. Our text machine has been mangled again.
Yeah, it has.
So sorry. Normally, we love to get you involved in our conversations by reading your text, but your enthusiasm has broken it down again. We were talking about the young ladies all around the world have cooked up a massive Let's Go Braless movement. It's everywhere. They're out there. Josh, it's like every day is a Janis Joplin concert from 1968.
Yeah.
No bras anywhere.
I got to say, I have not noticed. Maybe I haven't looked hard enough, but we can change that.
Yeah. Let's go take a walk through campus after the show, Josh.
So it sounds like nobody here's noticed. Well, let's go someplace where there's some older. Let's go to, what's that called? Redstone in Eden Prairie?
Oh, yeah.
That's where we see some 40 and 50-year-olds would be a little more appropriate.
You know that I'm not a social media guy, so no, I didn't know word one about this braless movement. So, it's brand new to me. Now, speaking of the young gals and the things they get involved in, does anyone here know much about the college sorority or fraternity gimmick?
A little bit.
I avoided
Yeah,
it.
a little bit, just from like my friends. Being in
Now,
them.
Dana, you totally strike me as a dude who wanted to get into a frat when you went to
absolutely
college.
not.
Yeah, you do. You seem like a frat boy.
Frat boy vibes come off
Yeah,
of you.
I guess I do give off that vibe for sure, but there was never even a consideration on my part.
What do
More
you
like
know?
on their part.
Yeah,
Is that
maybe I was just avoiding the inevitable rejection.
I mean, it's okay to be honest. Was it on their part?
Now, they were all labeled as extremely douchey. It was just like, if you're in a frat, you are a douche.
Oh, yeah, that's the vibe I always heard as well. So I asked, does anyone know anything about the gimmick? You said a little bit, Josh.
Yeah, I dated a girl who was in a sorority.
Really?
Yeah, I learned some stuff. Like, if somebody, they taught them all this manners things, right? And part of it was, she's like,
really?
If you pass salt, you're supposed to, quote, marry it with the pepper. You ever heard that before?
Yep.
And go ahead.
I had no idea that it was, there's a term I'm missing here. I had no idea that it was presented that way. There's a term for behaving in social situations. Someone can, I know our text.
Proper etiquette?
Etiquette isn't the word, but no, I had no idea that kind of thing went on at sororities. They taught them proper dining habits.
Yeah, all
and
kinds of stuff.
No, that's the first time I've ever heard that.
At least at her sorority.
Yeah, my buddies in fraternities, they would do the same thing. They learned how to shave properly. They learned how to tie ties and dress and stuff like that.
Sounds awful.
Continue on, Josh. So they would teach this girlfriend of yours proper etiquette at the dinner table. What else?
Yeah, I mean, it was like I don't know too much else about what went on in there. I know my stepdaughter's boyfriend, he's in a fraternity at Mankato, and they don't seem douchey. What was that?
Congeniality is the word I was trying to find. Congeniality.
Yeah, they do a lot of, I know, like on the good side that they'll like make the girls go and do or the girls or the guys go and do like charity work and stuff like that. Like, it's not all of them just throwing like these ragers and making these obnoxious dance videos and getting drunk. They do some good parts.
The case race up in Duluth, when all the fraternities would do the case race. Or
I don't know what that means.
Beer Olympics. That was a blast to watch.
You know a kid who's a frat boy at Mankato State?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
He's a good kid.
Here's the deal. Some parents these days are coughing up around $4,000 to get their daughters into sororities.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. You're aware of this?
Yep. The only girls that I know that were ever in sororities were girls with money.
Does it? Yeah, I can tell you this girl I dated was that was definitely the
But
case.
you know for sure, Ashley, that their parents bought their way into the sorority?
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, I guess I don't know. I don't know that was the case. But she did have money. I mean, her family did.
So, do you know about sorority consultants?
Oh, yep. You can pay a lady, usually a girl, that will basically like train you on how to impress the sorority you're trying to get into.
You know these things.
Yeah,
it's
it's crazy.
This is a report from the Wall Street Journal. Oh, that answers my question. Then you've been sitting around reading the Wall Street Journal.
Of course, every morning.
A report from the Wall Street Journal spoke to several sorority consultants who, just like you explained, offer advice and coaching services to aspiring members. They coach them on what to wear, how to behave, how to manage their social media presence.
Does it help, like, with a future job? Do they go, oh, look at that, they were in a sorority or a fraternity or something?
I think it used to more. I mean, I hear stories all the time from my friends now who are going into the workforce where they're like, yeah, I told them I have a degree. They just believed me and like didn't check anything, and that was just the end of it. Like, I don't know if they really care about that anymore.
Word is sorority admissions are just as competitive as it is just to get into a top college. And
that's like the Aunt Becky scandal from a couple of years ago. Lori Loughlin, who played Aunt Becky on Full House, she paid like $500,000 to get her kids into the University of Southern California. And then it exposed this whole network where a bunch of parents were doing this under false pretenses.
That's hilarious.
Paying
I remember
hundreds
that.
of thousands of dollars to sneak their kids into these schools. She did two months in prison.
Yeah. 2 months in.
Yeah, and like supposedly a real federal correctional facility.
Now it says here, continuing on with this story on sorority consultants handing out $4,000 to someone to teach your kid, your daughter, how to be a better or the best possible candidate for a sorority. Hiring a consultant isn't, as my dad would say, a guarantee that your dream will come true and a sorority will snatch you up. 20 to 25% get rejected.
I would have never made it.
And I bet there's some emotions when that happens, by damn.
Man.
You hired a consultant, you paid her $4,000, they taught you to be the most proper little thing on planet Earth, and the sorority still says, no. You know what I'm saying.
I don't really know the appeal. Maybe, I know our text machine here is not working very well, but for people that are in it, I wonder what the appeal is. I mean, just to have like some built-in friends, maybe?
I think that's what it is. You already are set up.
That's the first thing that comes to mind for me. You know, the idea of getting into a fraternity. You know, these are your pals. You got a built-in house full of pals.
Brotherhood and sisterhood.
And you binge drink and you play the broken donkey game or whatever we always hear about. What are those things? The hot potato, the soggy toast.
Not that one. No, not that one.
The line everybody used in college, at least when I was there, was, the standard, like, oh, you're in a frat? Cool, I don't have to pay to have friends.
Yep, I used to hear that all the time.
Do you have to pay for a frat?
Yeah.
Or you just joke?
You have to pay.
Yeah, there's dues.
There's dues?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, my nephew just joined a frat, actually. Oh, he's such a frat douche, too. It's just like seeps out of his pores. But he joined a frat, and yeah, they had to pay money. And I was, like, in disbelief because I knew, like, some sororities you have to pay to live in the house. But yeah, it was a big bill.
Some fraternities might charge up to $3,000 a year, while others could cost a lot more, depending on the school and whether you're staying in the fraternity housing, like you're living there.
It sounds like you're reading something off the internet.
It does.
The baby elephant walk?
No.
I'm just, these are the stories that I've heard. Those are the stories I've heard. I'm not trying to encourage.
Another thing that my nephew had to do joining his frat that I thought was actually kind of cool is that they, in the beginning of the year, I think he paid a couple $100, and they take a couple $100 from all the guys and they put it into a big alcohol fund, and that's the alcohol fund for the whole year. So they never don't have money to buy booze.
Yeah, we tried that. It led to a massive fist fight.
I bet.
Yeah, it led to a fist fight. So there you go. Very interesting. I'm learning so much about the young people, specifically the young ladies today. They're not wearing bras, and they're paying $4,000 to someone to teach them how to be a sorority sister, and they still might be shown the door anyway. No sorority for you, Haley, or whatever the...
Perfect name.
Farmington
Jolene, whatever. What are girls being named these days? Jolene's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
Farmington Dad Jesus says that his wife was in a sorority, didn't have to pay to get in. They did a lot of charity work and a lot of the manor trading. I didn't know about the manors until she told me.
Neither did I.
I used to be an elbow on the table guy while eating.
Oh, I still am.
Yeah, I still am too, Dana.
Yeah,
like an animal.
Yeah.
Elbows on the table like an animal.
80s Kurt Rambis fan Jesus says his son is at a frat at the U of M and pays $4,000 a semester.
A semester?
Dude, is it worth it?
Probably don't have time for him to get back to us, but I'd love to know, what do you get out of that? Is that room and board?
Well, I know they get all their meals made for them in frats and sororities.
You better be getting a trip to Mexico with that kind of money. That's
and
insane.
$4,000 just to be in the fraternity, that doesn't count the tuition.
No.
Which I hear is ungodly these days.
Here's a text. It's connections. Because it's not what you know, it's who you know. So you make connections. Sure, networking.
There is a big difference between certain sororities too. If you look at a girl's a Alpha Phi Gamma, those are the crazy, those are the expensive ones. But then there's smaller like sororities and fraternities where it is just like
I didn't know you were so. I didn't know you were so learned on this.
Yeah, you seem to know a lot.
I didn't realize I knew as much as I did.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. And Dana mentioned something about meals. That was the only thing. Not that I was ever going to be a college student. You guys know that. But the only thing I ever, I had a few friends who were fraternity members. Not close friends. The guys I went to high school with, and I'd run into them once in a while. The only thing I was ever jealous of, they talked about the food. Mm-hmm. You were always fed so well, is what I understood from their stories. And it just dawned on me. I know a gal who was a cook at a sorority a few years ago. And I said, do you need an intern?
That would be crazy.
Do you need a sous?
And she said, no. We got to pull the plug. Yes, Cubby.
As the texts are coming in, it seems the theme is, yes, it's just getting to know a group of people who can, later, like here's this text. My fraternity, very helpful getting through college. You would definitely hire a bro, right? Down the road, if they become a boss or something like that, you look out for each other.
Sure, you're brothers for life.
Yeah, or even if you were like different generations, right? I was in so-and-so fraternity.
I guess I've seen that played out in movies a couple of times.
Yeah, me too.
Interesting the way that works out.
It is. The whole thing is.
Like, hey, because you paid this like extra money and drank with this group of girls for 4 years, yeah, I'll get you the job. Screw the other person's that's more overqualified.
This is by far the most in-depth conversation I've ever had on the subject, and a lot of it is really interesting to me.
Yeah, job connections. These are the texts coming in.
It's not just binge drinking and sneaking up on your frat bro in the middle of the night with a number 2 pencil.
What?
Congratulations to Liam. He's leaving for college today. Hey, Dana, Chelsea sucks. Jesus said the family still loves him, even though he's going to Mankato State. Chasing 3 types of white-tailed Jesus wants to wish his soon-to-be freshman son best of luck as today's move-in day at St. Cloud State.
Oh, that's a big party.
Yeah, I wonder if any of these guys are going to be in frats.
Yeah, good question. They'll have to let us know. And how much is it? Happy 26th birthday to Wood Butcher Jesus. And before we go, on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line right this instant, text the word thrash. I feel like I said that weird. I was trying to pronounce it very pronounced.
I thought it was perfect.
Thrash, 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 to 651-989-9393. You get a shot to win tickets to, oh my God, Megadeth with special guest Biohazard, whose lead singer used to be a porn star. Saturday, September 30th at the Mystic Showroom. Nick and I going to be there, furnished by Mystic Lake Casino. Tickets go on sale tomorrow.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
It's savings on a stick season with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning State Fair specials. Savings from $30 on a tune-up all the way up to $950 on a new cooling system. Visit standardheating.com/offers for details on all their State Fair deals.